It's me, Ryan Bailey. What's up, YouTube? This is our weekly So Bad It's Good Beverly Hills recap. These are gargantuan, and I am so nervous because this is a big episode. There's a lot of moving parts. So this is a podcast as well for iHeartRadio. So go listen to it there. We have tons of interviews and all that stuff during the week. But this is going to be a fun. I've got some props today for the old YouTube audience. So I'm going to hit record on GarageBand right now. This is like a one-man band sometimes, and it gets really. I'm really bad at it. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome to So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. This is Ryan. Welcome. Are you guys ready for this Beverly Hills recap? I know I am. It's me, Tyler Ticket. Oh my God. Asher. Wow. Her boy toy really very sexy this week. It's like if you took Prince and then gave him no talent. Is that the word? No, you can actually hold a tune. It's Miss Erica Jane. Oh, holy night, the stars shine brightly. I mean, my God, she was talking about laxatives last week, and I feel like, like just hitting some of those notes, Erica, is going to cause you to loosen something up, shake something loose. How are you guys doing? What a great say. Hey, how are you guys doing? Speaking of Erica's loose stool, how are you guys doing? Are you ready to have fun? I did my normal thing where I fretted about this all day. I talked yesterday about how good I am at fretting. Could you believe I met Vicki Gunvalson yesterday at the Counting Crows show in Orange County? Like truly a bizarre experience on so many levels. And thank you to all the people that reached out to remind me that Vicky is not vaccinated. So I'm feeling okay. What if I got monkeypox from Vicky? Is that even a possibility? My God, but I would kind of wear it with a badge of honor. Like Vicki Gunvalson gave me these, damn it. I would try to scrape some off and give them to Andy for the clubhouse, Thank you so much for being here once again. If you like the show, please leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can do both. This isn't the American political system. You can vote multiple times, I think, on those apps. But if you don't like it, please don't. I guess that's the thing. Patreon baddies, what's up, you guys? We're doing the redo of the live stream next Wednesday, and I've got a couple episodes to release this weekend. We finished Ultimate Girls Trip, so very excited to get that out of the way. And here's the only serious thing I'm going to say right now at the beginning of this is, you don't need to be into prayer, you don't need to be into religion or like that, but if you have good vibes or good thoughts, I have 2 women in my life that Maritza Lopez, who makes the amazing graphics, kind of one of the the people I depend on the most, brilliant comedic mind herself. I know she's been having some just slight medical issues, and she'll probably kill me for even because she never wants anybody to worry about her. But I also think that's like a load of horseshit because listen, I'm sick all the time, but I want all the attention then when I get sick. So please keep Maritza in your thoughts. Listen, these women in my life are so much stronger than I will ever be, and it's really truly inspiring because like if I get a hangnail, I'm like, holy shit, I think I'm gonna have to quit the podcast. I need that nail to hit the buttons. Also then of course Becky Bailey, my mom, she was on the pod a couple weeks ago, and we went into this a little bit, and I think I went into it a little bit further on the Patreon, but her big surgery is going to be this upcoming Wednesday. And so just keep her really in your thoughts and prayers for me. If you don't know who I'm even talking about, it's my mom. And she means a great deal to me. And I know she is very scared, as I'm sure we all are. No, actually, I am one of those people. I am scared. So please keep her in your thoughts. And if you pray, do that as well. I'll take anything. I'm not going to pay for the prayer, Like if you say you prayed for my mom and then you're like, Venmo me $5, I won't. I just don't have that kind of money to be throwing around. Could you pay the Pope to pray for your mom? Like, Pope, what's the dollar figure so I can get like a top tier prayer? My mom is so she's so not it's like I'm like she's so into God. She's so into God. It's like Asher when he was singing like, "Yeah, I love you, Jesus," at this holiday party, which we'll get into. Wow, what a scene. Um, but I know religion and prayer and all that gives my mom great strength. So I always try to respect that. And she's one of those people that makes you want to believe in those things because I think she's truly a great person. So those are two women. Put some good thoughts. And then we're going to talk about a bunch of bad women right now. We're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly. What ain't I'm not bad, right? It's me, Uncle Jay. I'm good. I got good vibes. I want a good piece of dick. Yeah, get that dick. Oh, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. Okay, this is actually putting me in a good mood. So this is great. I have to the left of me my TV. I always kind of inch it towards my workstation right here, and I have Beverly Hills playing on that like nonstop. Of course, in the beginning, you heard a mashup of a couple different songs from a band that you guys should know, but I'm afraid a lot of people don't anymore, called The Clash. And Joe Strummer, they're just amazing. They were an amazing band. But my lady love, Miss Sutton Strack, how you doing, Ron? I'll say. She was on a date. How dare she go on a date? But it's like you gotta kiss a lot of frogs to find a prince. This guy, me, Ryan Bailey. But she told him her date, Sanjit, she told him they were like, he's like, "What kind of music do you like?" And she's like, "Well, I like the old 80s punk. I like punk." And I was like, and then she's like, "I like the Clash." So I wanted to give a couple mashups of Clash songs for Sutton so we could like groove. Oh, Ryan, what a mashup. Ooh, that Clash makes me want to put on leather pants. JK, not those ugly leather pants. So that's why I picked those mashups, because I was like, I might lose some of the audience. Some of the audience might not like the Clash. But so I try to put like a little hip hop with the House of Pain. Always a fun. Oh, you guys, I truly worry about myself. I know you guys do, but I truly worry about myself. We're going to get right into this though, folks, because I mean, this might be 2+ hours like the other ones, but I'm not going to do any other news stories, even though there's other things to talk about. I'm being good. I'm going to talk about those Monday on the Pop Culture Roundup, because that's what that's there for, even though there's so many things I want to talk about. Like Britney Spears just had her first drink today, first alcoholic drink. She went to a bar. Her assistant, don't talk about it. Right. Okay. We'll talk about that. Well, we have had a great week of shows. If you don't try out the other shows, give it a shot. We have Chris Frangiola the other day. We had Shep Rose from Southern Charm. I mean, we're putting it all out on the dance floor, you guys. And remember, your weekend starts now. If you are listening to this at work, clock out. I mean, at least mentally in your head. Your boss will totally understand that you're not giving your all today. And put these in. What I used to do when I had a real job, I would take my AirPods and I would put one in this ear, and then I would be able to hear work stuff with my left ear, but the right ear I was playing like Howard Stern or mixes that I'd made, and that was always in my right ear. So like 50% of me was always totally gone listening to whatever was in my AirPod, but the other 50%, that was all work, you guys. It was all work, and that's all they need. They just need 50%, you guys. And if anybody bothers you about that, you say Ryan Bailey said it is completely okay to check out and give you 50% of work today, because I'm going into a weekend. You got to treat Friday. If you don't have a 3-day weekend, your 3-day weekend starts now. Treat Friday as a 3-flipping-day weekend. Okay, here we go. I'm jazzed. You know what it is? I'm like, why am I so jazzed? Because I have this huge iced coffee right here, and then I have this Diet Coke right here, and then I've hid this water from myself way out of reach. I'm not drinking any alcohol or anything like that, because I'm professional, guys. I wouldn't do that to you. I am juicing though. I'm on steroids for podcasting, just to make my voice extra resonant and very manly. So this, let's start with the date. It is July 27th for this episode in the year of our Lord 2022. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is the show, and this title, you guys, Beverly Hills Blackout. And now when I hear that, I'm like, oh my God. So, we always derive clues from the titles. So when I first heard this, I was like, oh my God, a blackout has taken over the entirety of Beverly Hills. And then rioters have come in and looters, and they rob all of these ladies of all their jewelry and art and all of that stuff. And it's like this huge thing because the people are finally rising up against the Richies, the Richies of the world, the Beverly Hill Angelinos, and they're just taking. So that's where my head went. But then I was like, Ryan, you actually live in Los Angeles, and if this really was a Beverly Hills blackout, you would have heard about it. Like, this would have been talked about. So I got immediately bummed because I was just picturing a whole thing. And then I got even went deeper into it, and I was like, oh my God, what if Erica Jane during the blackout started looting her friends? Like, yeah, let's get over to Reeds. I want some more. Get more. Let's go over to Kyle's. Yeah. Hey, let's get a Kathy Hilton's house. She's got some rich shit. And then Erica goes over there in a blackout, and now I'm just remembering last week that I brought Michael Jackson back to life, and he lives in Kathy's attic crawl space, and he comes out to pee on Kathy's sofa. But then this night of the blackout, MJ's like, Miss Kathy, I'm so scared. Miss Kathy, hold me. I need to go pee-pee. So, and then Erica Jane breaks into Kathy's like, is anybody here? It's me, Erica Jane. And MJ's like, who that? I'm scared. It's Kathy. And then he starts peeing accidentally because he's so nervous, and he pees directly onto Erica Jane. Oh, what's that wet stuff all over me? What? Is this one of my dates? Are you peeing on me already? Oh my God. There's a couple moments. That moment with Garcelle in this week where Erica's like, I'm getting dicked down. She's so proud of how much sex she's getting, yet we never even come close to seeing anybody that is touching her other than Mikey and the budget bin glam people. No offense to you glam people. I just have a feeling she might have paid more for the glam people from years past. Anyway, so, okay. Oh man, and by the way, this is really a test for me, because I think if I don't hit this right, if I don't, this is such an important episode, you guys. There are so many really good scenes, and I'm going to use this for my audition piece to get into grad school for theater at Juilliard. I don't know if you've heard of it. So I'm going to send this off, and hopefully they'll be like, this is the best damn one-man show I've ever heard, or if they're watching on YouTube, seen. And here we go. Okay, so this summary, this is what the Bravo gave to the cable company to describe this week's episode. And also, Juliana Carrazzo, once again, has taken these notes. And Juliana, she's really killing it because she got this done so early. Because, when she first started this, she was like, this is insane. Because she takes such detailed notes. She's like, this is taking me forever. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can go back to doing it myself, but it really does allow me to just kind of watch and let it wash all over me by osmosis. And I get to kind of notice little things like Lisa Rinna's dress at that holiday party looked exactly like the carpet out of The Shining when that little kid's on the tricycle, and it's like, and then the two little twin girls behind the elevator, and then blood starts pouring out. The carpet is exactly what Lisa Rinna's dress, I think, is made out of. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what there's a conspiracy theory in there somewhere. I don't know if it means she's possessed by an evil spirit. I believe any of that. So anyways, this is the description, but Juliana Carrazza killed it again. Thank you, Juliana. It really, truly does help. No, all joking aside. Okay, so summary says, Diana apologizes to Garcelle for acting out at her birthday party. Now, okay, this barely was anything in this episode. It was like one day, like, I'm sorry, Garcelle, you like me, I think, though. Whatever. And then Lisa has a frank conversation with Erica about her recent behavior. Now, who's the one that wrote the word frank over at Bravo? Lisa has a frank conversation. What a nice descriptive word. We don't use the word frank nearly enough, not nearly enough to my liking. A frank conversation with Erica about her recent behavior. Erica, you gotta stop telling people all you want is dick. And then, of course, Kathy's prank annoys but doesn't surprise Kyle. Is that the worst flippin' summary that you could actually even have? So much more happened in this, and that's the summary you go with, Bravo? Like literally off the top of my head, like you could go with like Asher, Diana's boy toy, serenades Jesus Christ, and all the ladies cry except for Erica, who tries to join in for a duet like Islands in the Stream by Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. Islands in the Stream, that's what we are. That happened, and then you could be like, Sutton tries to find the love of her life in Sanjit, not knowing Ryan Bailey is close around the corner. And then, of course, you could end it with, I mean, Garcelle has a frank conversation with Erica, because Lisa's frank conversation with Erica wasn't that big. We'll get into it. Okay, so also back to that title though, Beverly Hills Blackout. I get it after I watched it because Erica Jane got like piss drunk. I mean, by the way, that's probably who peed on Kathy's sofa. Now that I'm really thinking about it, if she's been there anytime soon. So we start these shows, like I always say, Bravo does not trust our memories. Bravo thinks we are all losing our memories, and we do not have storage space in our brains to be able to understand what's happened in previous episodes. And we need a visual reminder each week. So it says previously on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And we have Erica to Sutton going, oh, bitch, he's hot. Yeah. Even with the mask. Because Sutton was showing like who she's dating on the old Bumble. And Sutton's like, well, I don't want to be tied down. And Erica's like, I don't either. I just want a lot of sex. Garcelle, then a scene of Garcelle to Erica going, your liquor level was beyond. Yeah. And then Garcelle's like, under no circumstances can you disrespect my kid. Take that shit over to little Jagaloo to Reed's kids. And then Kyle scene goes, she's gone through so much. She's sort of being like more free with us, showing a more vulnerable side. She's doing Jaeger bombs. And Garcelle's like, that couldn't lead to alcoholism. And then we have a scene of Crystal going, I wake up every morning thinking about everything I eat. And Kyle's like, you're so gorgeous. And I know you know that. And Crystal's like, I want to eat a meal and be okay with it. I don't want to hate what I'm eating every day. And that was a very brave issue that Crystal's dealt with her whole life. We also saw it on last season, and this season it got introduced a couple of episodes ago. And that's where we left in last week's episode at the end. And then Diana has her holiday party, and Diana's like, let the party begin. And Rena's like, this is so pretty. And Crystal's like, oh, wow. And Kyle's like, I've never seen so many Christmas trees in my life. And then Rena to Crystal goes, look at us. We're both like wearing nothing. I love it. And then Erica goes, she's having the conversation with Crystal about her eating disorder at Diana's party. And Erica goes, eat it and feel guilty or deny yourself eating it? I'm just curious. And Crystal goes, no, I eat it and feel bad. And then Erica goes, wow, I always take laxatives and get rid of it. And then I think literally all of us, at home on the scene, we're all like, ooh, what? Erica, what? By the way, Erica's like, pitching like fucking fake hair and like, oh, I know everything about fake hair. But literally, let's do the products Erica actually uses. Erica, why don't you like step up and be a laxative spokesman? Like, honestly, we know you use them. Like, I don't necessarily believe any of these ladies. Like, I mean, next week we have Lisa Rinna pitching her rosé. It's finally here. Like, come on, man. Like, it's like, I just feel like people like they'll put their names on anything, honestly. And I feel like, but Erica, like laxatives, wouldn't you be like, I would honestly, no matter even how I feel about Erica or what she's done or not done, and how I feel like she's completely oblivious and not even in any way sorry for what her husband has done, let alone what she might have done, but just no empathy, sympathy for any of these victims, just for herself. And I would, though, still, even saying all of that, if she were to sell a laxative product, I'd be the first in line. Honestly. I would hope there would be a picture of her on it, but I would definitely, and by the way, also I would pay extra to have her sign it. So that's that. Like I truly would. I'd be like, this is the trusted name in laxatives. Erica, Erica Jane's. Oops, I have to poop. So anyways, Erica goes, well, I always think laxatives and get rid of it. And Garcelle's like, wow, a laxative? She has an eating disorder. You guys, this week we didn't get any taglines of like, in this town, I have a butthole. And then so we start right into the action. And it was a continuation from last week at Diana's Christmas party. And Erica goes, let me get my Erica goes like, what is it, man? I have now held up my Erica Jane puppet. And Kyle's like, oh, what is this? And the server's like, oh, these are chicken tendies and barbecue ranch. And Erica's like, you can't have this. This is a chicken tender. And janging on it, but you can, Crystal. and, and like she literally, like, I mean, talk about an asshole. Like, I don't care if you're drunk or not. Like, somebody has, like, they're literally talking to you about their issues. Crystal goes, I'm not going to eat that. And Erica's like, all right, I need another drink. This whale is dry. Rena's shown pursing her lips. She's like, oh, what's going on over there? And then Kathy's like, hello, I didn't see you, to Cherie Zampino. And Cherie's like, nice to see you. And Kathy's like, I'm trying to think when I last saw you. And Cherie's like, I don't think you've ever seen me, Kathy. And Kathy's like, of course I have. And Cherie's like, you have? And Kathy's like, I don't forget faces. And Cherie's like, I don't know. This might be our first time meeting. And Kathy's like, you look familiar, but with my eyes, you never know. And Kathy just spins around and walks away. Like, honestly, they should hire Kathy out just for parties. It's like an up close magician or somebody, where they go around and entertain people. Like, if you had a Kathy Hilton coming up to you and going, Ryan, oh, I've met you before, Ryan. It's a very nice to meet you. And I'll be like, oh my God, I've never met you, Ryan. I know what I see. You were on that show, Saved by the Bell, and you were the goofy kid that they threw into lockers. Man, that was Screech. Oh, I think I know a Screech. You are Ryan. So we get a flashback to 1 year earlier where Kathy had this same issue, and Garcelle was arriving at Dorit's, and Kathy's like, how are you? And Garcelle's like, good. How are you? And Kathy's like, what? I thought you were Kyle. I thought you were Kyle. And Garcelle's like, and Kathy's like, I'm not kidding you. I really genuinely did. I thought you were about to steal my goddamn house. And Garcelle's like, I get that all the time. And then Diana, back to this scene, to her guest, goes, let's go inside for a little bit. Now, you guys, listen, I'm a little, what do they call, like, blue humor, and I do a little fart jokes, a lot of sex talk, it's adult themes, adult materials, but I think I do not get the credit when it's deserved with this upcoming scene. Because what have I told you, you fart knockers, for the last couple of weeks? Sorry, talking to you like bros right now, which, by the way, that's how I talk to bros. That's why I probably don't have tons of bros. Hey, fart knocker, what's going on? No, I told you Asher Monroe, Diana J. We did a whole segment how I said Asher's album just got released, produced by D Entertainment. And by the way, all you content creators listening to my show, I see you. Please, I can. So Diana Jenkins has D Entertainment, or Dentertainment, and Asher is what seems to be her one client. Hopefully she'll pick up Erica Jane later this season. I'd be like, I would like to add you to my roster. It is you and Asher. Once I saw you play at the holiday party, I knew that you were very good at what you do. And so, yeah, I was like, we are going to see an Asher Monroe concert or a music video being filmed or something. And I've done it again. I predicted this, and it has come to light because we finally see what potentially is a reason for Diana Jenkins to do this show. Because Asher, let's give a little background on this. I went to his IMDb, that's the International Movie Database, and I looked him up. And Asher has been working for a long time. On IMDb, he's an actor, director, writer, and this is his professional bio. Asher Monroe is a professional actor, singer, writer, and aspiring director. He got his early start at age 6, landing Chip in the first national Broadway tour of Beauty and the Beast, following a stint of multiple Broadway shows where he attended the Professional Children's School and the original Fame School in New York City. Destiny must have played a big part in him landing the lead role in MGM's remake of the original Fame movie. Along with numerous nationally syndicated TV appearances under his belt, Parenthood, Mentalist, and Medium, music has always played a pivotal role in Asher's career. He was signed to Warner Brothers as a recording artist, toured the world selling out large venues, started his own independent label, you mean Diana did, with 3 top 10 singles. On what chart was this gracing the Billboard charts? Asher is now working on promoting his first unreleased directorial. How do you promote an unreleased directorial debut of a film he wrote and starred in called Book of Love? Okay, mental note, have to watch Book of Love. A lot to be thankful for and a lot to look forward to for this budding young creative entrepreneur. And by the way, no slight, that genuinely is a really great resume. Broadway, Fame, shows, like the guy has so far, like, it's not my favorite type of artist from what I've seen so far, but he's definitely somebody with talent. You cannot take that away from him. It's a certain type of talent, I think. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like a certain type. It's a showy. And he also has that that inner confidence that sometimes I don't like with actors, where he wants to get up and you know, sing songs in front of the Beverly Hills Housewives. Like, for me, I'd be like, this is stupid. Let's keep drinking, you guys. Let Erica talk about her laxatives more. But Asher's like, pardon me, is this mic on? Ladies, sit down. I've got a little bit of a show I'd like to put on. So I found this interesting. But he's been working so long. He was born in 1988, good year. I treat him like it's fine wine. It's a good year. I've heard good things. And I'm so curious about the more of the Diana Jenkins and Asher story, about like how they met and what was that romance like? Or, you know, is it like the end of The Goonies? If you guys remember that 80s film with Chunk and Sloth, who was the, you know, Sloth was the man with the wild, you know, facial deformities. And, you know, at the end, you know, Chunk was his buddy and was like, you're going to come live with me now, to Sloth. And Sloth was like, baby Ruth. I wonder if that was like Asher meeting, you know, in Ibiza or somewhere, you know. She's like, meets Asher, like, you're going to come live with me now, Asher Madro. You are mine now. Because I truly want to know, like, he seems so confident. And I just want to know everything. And like I told you, I've been writing hard for Asher. I've told you guys all to listen to his Spotify album. It's only like 34 minutes. It's called Windows of Time. What a great name. Like, is this an album or is it a Lord of the Rings film, you know? Okay, so moving on. Okay, that was just a little backstory, because what we are about to see is historical. Asher is singing like, yeah. He's all Prince-like. He's like, yeah. So I got my little Asher puppet. Yeah, it's me, Asher Monroe. Or, hey, is that Prince? No, it's Asher. What's going on, everybody? And we hear piano playing softly, and Asher's like, come on in, ladies. Come on in. And Ren is like, oh, this is lovely. I'm going to sit here all night. And she takes a front row seat. And then Asher to Erica, because Erica is literally, she's like on him. She's like on where the music is and the piano. And she's like, and she's looking at his like musical sheets. And Asher's like, you can't read those, girls. Get. You can't read those, girls. Get. Yeah. He's like funky Asher. He's like, yeah, you can't read those, girl. Get. Yeah. Get. Shoo. And Erica goes, bitch. And it's like, Erica, why? He's not Mikey. Why are you talking to him like one of your glam team? Like, man. Asher's like, I'm a musical honor. You get out of here, pretty miss. And then Diana's like, trying to show off your Broadway background. Come on. In regards to Erica just planting herself on this little stage in front of the couch with a professional piano player, that whole deal. It's like a whole setup, and Erica is just there's always just one, right? And it's like Erica really truly has, this is the season of her being the drunk aunt. And Erica goes, honey, that shit crashed 2 years ago. And then Asher steps up, and what she's talking about, of course, her career and all that. But it's like, listen, if Erica truly cared, go do community theater, go do regional theater. If musical theater is your calling, girl, you're telling me Arizona Theater Company or any small, like they wouldn't take you on and let you do your little Chicago act. Come on, Erica. It's just that it's not big enough for where you want to be, which is like, okay, but then don't complain about it all the time. Sorry, that's so wrong. So Asher steps up to the microphone. He's like, hey, no, oh yeah, you guys ready to get funky? And he's like totally trying to be Prince and stuff. And Diana, I find this so weird. Like, I want to know, it's like rich people, they all treat each other so differently. Or if, somebody knows somebody's rich, like Elton John is supposedly like close friends with Asher and Diana. And it's like, come on, really, man? Or is it that like Diana gives a lot of money to your charities, and like Neil Patrick Harris and his husband are good buddies with them? And I'm like, really? Like, it just shows you, like, I mean, we're all different kinds of people and stuff, and maybe they're different when cameras are down, but I also just think there's like kind of this rich society in life that we are not invited to, and good, because it really seems like you'd have to put up with a lot of bullshit and act like when you, like, I would not be able to stop laughing if all of a sudden I was drinking at a party and someone was like, yeah, come on, let's get sexy time. I'm about to sing some hymnals. Yeah. Like I would be losing my shit. So Asher steps up to the microphone and goes, everyone's looking amazing tonight. Yeah. And I would love him to do a little crowd work, like, hey, how many people we got from Beverly Hills tonight? Yeah. Anyone in love in the audience? Yeah. What's that like? Okay, everybody, tip your waiters. This next song. And Rick, RIC apostrophe K Pageot, Pageot, is the music director for the evening. He's a pianist, and he begins to play. And Ash is like, oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. And hear the angels' voices. Oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. And sorry, he got full. I'm sorry. And by the way, Asher can sing beautifully. Like, I'm not, like, that is not a proper sing. I went into a beat. Stand alive, night when Christ was born. So the camera cuts to Kathy Hilton, and she's looking on with like a beautiful, like, she's moved. Either that or her like LASIK is like loosening, and she's like wiping a tear. And you in Kathy's head, you could be like, Garcelle singing lovely tonight. That's Asher, Kathy. Rinna wipes a tear from her eye, or like a fake, like Rinna's like, Diana, see, look at me. I'm moved by your boyfriend. Can I have some money? And then Erica, we cut to her, and she's just guzzling a drink. She's like, oh, but she's very excited about the spotlight. Rinna in a talking head goes, Asher singing. It's so magical. Really. It's so moving, so meaningful. He is a talent. I love, this is the other thing. These things, you know, it's like, the rich, it's like, it reminds you of that David Foster earlier seasons of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We talked about that so many times in the show, of them all singing around the David Foster piano in Malibu. And it's just like all these rich people, like, this is what they do, man. Like, we're all there trying to make a buck and trying to get by and raise our families and all this bullshit. And they're all singing carols around like these fancy pianos. And, you know, they're almost led to believe that this is what's meaningful. And it's like, no, man, like, donate your time and money to all that. You like this. Also, I guarantee you, if you are full of amazing rich people food and drink, I mean, I could like fart into a mic and you'd be like, that is beautiful. What a meaningful song that was. I am having the best time of my life. Like, honestly, I've been to a couple of rich people events where, like, I saw a private concert once with John Fogerty. I saw one with John Mayer, and I like literally, you know, in a room of like 100 people or something like that. And you're just like, holy shit. And these rich people, they're just like, yeah, they do this all the time. They do this all the time. I'm like sitting there going, what the fuck? Like, I mean, I remember going to a couple of events where I just was like, what the fuck is going on? I think I still have like a voice note. This is like 12 years ago or something. This is so long ago. And it was an event for Leslie Mann. And no, maybe it was Judd Apatow and Leslie was there. Anyways, but John Mayer came up and did like Free Fallin' by Tom Petty and all that stuff. I was like, holy shit. And I don't even think half the people in the crowd even knew who he was that was there. They were just rich. This shit happens with rich people. Sorry, I'm hoping to be rich one day, and I will then backtrack on all of these comments. Ryan, note to Ryan, pull this episode as soon as you make $1 million. If you want to get ballsy, make it too. Okay. So that was great, right? But that's just a warm-up. So Erica is like, I mean, just you're like, are you gonna hit the high note? Hit it, yeah. She's just like a heckler, like a drunk heckler that wants to be the stand-up comedian. And so, you know, Asher is getting to that point in the song of like, no, no, and then Erica joins in. No. And it's just literally, it's like what I imagine monkeys having sex sounds like. It was just so off. And Asher, I mean, he's like, Asher is a professional to some degree, and is like, what? And Diana's sitting there like smiling, like, hee, okay, he's very funny. But then it was weird. I actually thought that Diana liked, I don't know, man. I really don't know about Diana's taste, honestly. Like, Crystal looks over at Erica because Erica is just fully hammered. And Kyle, I got to tell you, Kyle, for everybody, whatever they say about Kyle does know when something is funny, and Kyle can be funny, but Kyle looks her way and just covers her mouth. And you can tell she's trying to stop from laughing. She's sitting right next to Rinna. And then Garcelle looks at Erica out of the corner of her eye. And Garcelle's always like that disapproving mother look. Like, I've gotten that look so many times, but it's just like a scary look. It's like, are you kidding me? Okay, this is sad. We've got to have a talk with Erica. And, you know, because just Erica wants to be still in it, wants to be performing. And it's so interesting, though. I want to clarify a real big thing here that I think a lot of people leave out, is that kind of the type of show Erica did. It wasn't a Chanteuse. It wasn't even Countess Luann doing cabaret and all that. She couldn't even do that. It was a lot of lights, a lot of smoke machine, a lot of voice, you know, a lot of computerized effects over the voice. And she did her dance routine, and it was good. It was good. It was fine, but she had background dancers all around her, and that's what she did. So when you're rich, people think that's amazing. But I know some of you stands out there, and by the way, Expensive is a good song. It's a good song. It is. But could she sing it a cappella at this nice, like, hold on, Basha, I want to do something for Jesus tonight. It's expensive to be me. Yeah. Like, could she do that? I mean, Asher, for all that we tease, has an actual voice. He might be acting a little goofy, but he has an actual voice. And I do empathize with Erica in the sense that it must be this huge fall, not a huge fall from grace, but also just huge in the sense of she really thought she had done it. All the time, all the effort. Imagine treating Tom Girardi as it was your job. And I do think she loved Tom and respected him and all of that stuff, but she worked hard. I think she really stayed in there because it all was paying off for her. She got on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She started being able to have her own career away from being Tom Girardi's wife. That started happening. And there is a part of me that always suspects, that this might have been an overall plan. Like, I don't think Erica was signing checks, diverting money herself personally, but I do think Tom was very well aware, and Erica to a degree too, that, we're going to set you up so you can have your own thing. And I think if this shit with Tom hadn't exploded for, I mean, COVID, you would have to take into account, but like 3 more years, she might have been completely okay. I just feel like all the ducks didn't get lined up the way that they thought it was going to be able to because of COVID. Remember, when she was on Chicago, they had to close early because of COVID. So I don't know. There's so many theories out there. Believe what you want. And there was another Erica Jane lawsuit story this week, but I still don't have enough good, solid information on it to talk about it. It's very scandalous, but the people that have reported it, they were like, it looks like it was a paid post to report it. And I don't want to put things out there until I kind of get a handle on it. So it just seems like lawsuits and things like that will forever be in her purview, if you will. And of course, we started off this week with a bang with Erica Jane being served for a $50 million lawsuit at Lisa Rinna, coming back from Diana Jenkins, which that threesome of Diana, Rinna, and Erica, to me, those are like the evil wrestlers. Like, of course, Erica is going to go to Diana Jenkins' Hawaii hideaway place. Like, she's really depending on the kind of, I'm always depending on the kindness of strangers. It's weird that it's them, right? Like, you guys get the difference in kind of those people, right? Like, to me, that fits them going to use Diana Jenkins' house. You can come. Okay, I'll be there. Harry, I'm leaving. Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna go camping by myself again. So they're like, no way. Surprise. And I do want to say, though, one quick thing about Asher was that I don't know if you're supposed to do Oh Holy Night as like a sex jam. Like, I was like, are you honoring Jesus, or do you want to do sexy things with Jesus? Like, no offense to people, please forgive me, but it was like, oh holy night, I'm gonna take off your clothes, gonna take off your robes, we're gonna get sexy time in the manger, cause it's a holy night where we get sexy and touch our nipples. Noel. Garcon talking now goes, I think Erica probably misses the spotlight. She won't shut up. It's awkward. And we see Rob, the director of The Lion King. That's a fun fact I just found out recently. He's sitting next to Erica, and she gets up and leaves. But imagine that. Imagine being so drunk, but also still able to be so full of yourself that you belt out in front of the director of Lion King. Can you feel the love tonight? Like, Asher is probably looking at this as an opportunity to sing for Rob Minkoff, of like, put me in one of your sexy cartoons, I can sing. And Eric is like, yeah, put me in too. Yeah. Asher continues singing. Erica takes a swig from her drink and hollers, hit the high note. And then Erica falls back on the sofa and continues singing along with Asher. Diana is like, hee. Juliana left a note here saying she thinks she's ready to bazooka Erica, but I don't. I think Diana always looks like me, with the lips. I think she's always kind of just like, you like that? So, Erica, join in. You guys are musical artists. I am just a producer. I fund things. Like, I did not think it was a bazooka. So, Crystal in the tongue in his head says, Erica, I think, has had far too much to drink, and her behavior, I think, it's not disrespectful. It's disrespectful, and it feels a little out of control. Erica is now howling like a dog in heat, like, and Asher finally reaches the ending, and everyone begins cheering and clapping and standing up. And Erica's like, hell yeah. And Asher's like, you just got to belt sometimes. And the guests disperse from the Steinway and Sons piano area and back to the drinking on the piano. And Rena's like, Merry Christmas, everybody. And Erica's like, cheers, cheers. Garcelle says to Kathy Hilton, I love that little bag, my love. It's so pretty. And Kathy goes, oh, this? It's an antique, basically. And Garcelle's like, is it? And someone says, it was last season. And Kathy goes, that's an antique in Beverly Hills. she's like a Vegas comedian, Kathy Hilton. And Rena goes, it is. Rena keeping an eye on the bag later going, should I steal that? Should I steal that? We see Mario, the photographer, taking festive portraits of the guests and servers, offering chicken tendies from the trays, and Diana sitting outside. And Diana goes, do you guys want a drink? And Erica's like, yes, we do. Is it free? Rena goes, I've had enough drinks. I'd like a little bit of the booger sugar. I'm joking. Erica says to the server, I'd like the champagne orgasm moment. All of the drinks, remember, were called Neurogasm and all that because one of Diana's products, not Asher the product, but her neuro drinks, it was like the Neurogasm. But like Erica's like, I'd like the champagne anal sex moment. Kyle's in a separate sitting area of the house, and so the Sheree goes, oh, Kyle's like, by the way, you guys are a mess. Look at the fries on the floor. And Sheree's like, Kathy did it. And they show a pile of fries scattered on the floor like it was an alley behind a fast food restaurant. And Sheree goes, Kathy did it. And Kyle's like, I feel like a toddler was at McDonald's. Erica back out in the other scene is being served the orgasm champagne drink and she goes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Like, do you notice Erica, when she's on film, is really nice to servers that are giving her drinks at Garcelle's party? She's like, come on, man, give me another spicy margarita. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Give me that shit you were giving me all night. It would have been funny if like Erica tried to like whip out like some change. Like, here's 35 cents. Don't spend it all in one place. Kathy's out there with them. And Erica goes, Kathy, girl, I'm so lit. I drink every time Erica says she's so lit. She's been doing that for 2 seasons now. I'm like, I'm so lit. And everybody goes, yeah, I know. And Erica gets serious. Like, how's Paris? And Kathy's like, she's so happy. She's doing really well. And Erica goes, Kathy, I want to say something. I want to get it off the chest. And Kathy's like, okay. And Erica's like, you invited me to a lot of events, and the truth is, I don't want to bring my scorn and my fucking scarlet letter onto your daughters and onto you. I can't. Kathy goes, I'm sorry, who are you again? No, Kathy goes, I understand that, but of course you're always included. And Eric goes, please don't make me cry, please. Like Kathy has literally done nothing. Oh, please, Kathy, don't do it to me. Oh, I've literally not said anything. Oh, you're doing it. Oh, here comes the waterworks. Kathy did it to me again. Eric goes, please don't make me cry because the truth is, I can't. And she's like full on drunk crying now. And Diana's like, oh, sweetheart. And Diana's like, that serves you for fucking Asher's performance. And Erica's like, no, it's okay. I don't want that. And she's like, look at me. Look at my life. Oh. And she's slurring her word. I mean, she really is legitimately drunk. And Kathy goes, but you at least replied. You RSVP'd. No. And if you didn't reply at all, that would be a whole different thing. I love in this. And this shows you how Kathy truly does not give a rip. And I don't mean like in general. I mean, it's like, she's like, okay, yeah. It's like, like, yeah, you said no. It's okay. People don't go to weddings sometimes. Like, it's okay. It's literally okay. And, you replied no, and that's all I truly care about. Like, if you replied yes and you didn't go, I'd be pissed because we spent $1,000 per a plate, I bet, on that thing. But also the audacity of Erica Jane to think that her scarlet letter could possibly outshine such a special day for Paris Hilton. Like, that's amazing. That's truly next level thinking. And I know she's drunk, but she's drunk to the point like she's also spitting some truth. And she legitimately thought that of like, I could bring down Paris's big day. Paris probably knows you as one of her mom's work friends, maybe. Like, and I'm sure you've said hi at multiple events and like, you've been in conversations where you've thrown in things like, yeah, oh, you look great. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Like just like throwing in on a conversation that you're really not directly a part of. But I mean, almost made me love Erica of just like, she truly is that person that thinks this is all about her of like, she probably wouldn't have been able to get married if I was there. She wouldn't take one look at me and go, I don't know. Look at what happened with Erica and Tom. I hope that doesn't happen to me and whoever I'm getting married to up here. I don't think I can do it, Mommy. I don't think I can. Look at Erica Jane. Look at her. She brought her scorn and scarlet letter, and I can't do it. So Erica, like, Kathy's like, no, it's all good. So, no, seriously, like, let's just all be cool. And Erica's like, Kathy, listen. And Kathy's like, but I always respect everybody's feelings. Yeah, Kathy, unless we're in Aspen. And then Erica goes, and I knew you were adult enough to understand. Oh, amazing. Kathy, I knew that you were not a dummy. I knew you understood basic concepts, Kathy. I understood. Thank you, Kathy. I knew a lot of people said you wouldn't understand me not coming, but I knew you're an adult. And then she proceeds to go, this is the kicker. She goes, but please explain to Paris and Nikki that it's not personal. And Kathy's like, I will. Okay. Also, wouldn't Erica like please explain to Paris and Paris's husband? Like, why is Nikki getting brought? Like, did Nikki get married that day too? Please explain to your cousins and if Paris and Nikki have any rich friends, would you please explain that I did not mean anything personal to them? Like, could you? I mean, I would kill for that scene of Kathy Hilton going, Paris, Nikki, sit down, please. I was at a holiday party at Diana Jenkins. Hot. That's hot, Mom. Oh my God. She asked me to be in her naked book once. Well, girls, this is serious. I want you to grab onto something if you could. I talked to Erica Jane. Oh, that's hot, Mom. Yeah. And you remember your wedding? Yeah, I think so. Well, Erica Jane wasn't there. And she wants you to know. And Nikki, you as well. Oh, really? I wasn't even married that day. I didn't. Okay. But yeah, she wants both of you to know that it wasn't personal. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Yeah. Right. Mom, can I ask something? Of course, honey. Who's Erica? Like, what? Huh? Is that the one always in the tracksuits? Okay, cool. Uh, so, Kelly's like, I will tell them. And Erica's like, she said I didn't want to bring that fucking shame onto something that should have been so beautiful. And she's choking out the words. Like, this is Erica. Like, guys, this is the kind of feeling we've been begging Erica to have for fucking victims, but she doesn't. She has them for fucking Paris and Nikki. Could you imagine how impressed you would be if Erica Jane, instead of this, goes, please, I know I want to explain something to you, the victims. My husband did something so wrong. And I know by me being here in front of you, it can add a world of hurt, but I just want you to know I am so sorry for what he did. I am so sorry. These were your loved ones. Like, you see the difference? Like that is what this emotion, this raw emotion for Paris Hilton. I love you, Paris. But none were the victims. Like, how much do you have to drink to be sorry to the victims? How much? Your family, you guys all listening or watching or whatever, when your family does something really messed up, all our families have done something messed up. Have you ever had to apologize for a family member? I have. I mean, also family members have had to apologize on my behalf. But you know what I'm saying? Because you love your family member and you don't want them to hurt other people. And if they do, sometimes you do need to apologize. You do represent them. So I thought this was just another, and Rinna, by the way, is looking like next to her, like, hey, I'm so proud. Look at you kissing up to rich people. Guess you've learned that from Miss Lisa Rinna. But it was just so bizarre to me. And I hope you guys understand that difference. So Kathy does look completely creeped out, though. I will say that. And then she goes, by the way, she looks beautiful. She looks sexy. She looks beautiful. I'm going in there. I loved Erica throwing that in. I'm like, she looks fucking fab. And then Kathy goes, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Paris and Carter. Carter is her husband's name. Paris and Carter. Merry Christmas. Look fucking fab. Yeah. And Dinah's like, cheers to that. And Erica's like, and Kathy's rolling her eyes. She's like, I'm going inside because I'm cold. And this was a load of horseshit. We get back to Kyle, and Kyle's like, I'm thinking back to the Sutton and Diana thing at my house. I think that Diana isn't ready to accept anything. And remember, we've been in the midst of like a 4-part Diana Jenkins Sutton fight that has really gone nowhere. We flash back to one day earlier with that Sutton and Diana scene, and someone's like, I think Diana isn't ready to accept anything. And Diana's like, she's right. And Kyle's like, did you apologize? Did she expect you to apologize, Sutton? I don't know that. And Sutton's like, well, I'm done apologizing. No, I'm gonna go listen to some Clash, some punk rock. And Kyle's like, how they left, I wouldn't have even thought she would come here tonight, but she was excited to come. I'm not kidding you. 1 hour before we were supposed to leave, Sutton tested positive for COVID, and Tree's like, shut up. And Kyle's like, I will not shut up. I was on the phone with her for 30 minutes. And Garcelle goes, yep. She called me on the way here. Like, I love, like, when I got COVID, both times, I kind of just hid in bed. Like, sounds like I gotta open up my Rolodex. I'm gonna beep bop, beep boo bop bop. By the way, where the fuck is Dorit? Oh, Dorit has COVID too. That's why she's not here. Garcelle's like, yeah, she called me, and Kyle's like, the thing that kills me about Sutton is I do get that she gets that really lonely feeling. And Garcelle goes, yeah, she is lonely. And Kyle's like, and when she said to me tonight, I'm gonna have to be alone now for Christmas, it really, really broke my heart. And I absolutely did not do anything about it. No. Dude, the thought of Sutton looking out of those new windows at our house, eventually, we'll call it our house, and just knowing that I was in town, just a couple miles away, and just to know, like, I would have been there. I would have been like, you give me COVID. You give me your COVID, Miss Sutton Strack. You're right. I don't want to give you COVID. It's Christmas time. I'd like to give you a nice gift. And I'm like, I don't need anything, Miss Sutton Strack. I need your love and I need your COVID. I talk tough on this, and now I make silly posts about so like, but I guarantee you, if I see Sutton, it would be I wouldn't even say anything. That's really kind of my MO. You guys know that. So Garcelle was like, yeah, I know about something. She was saying, since you had COVID, maybe you, and Kyle's like, me? And Garcelle goes, no, me. Maybe she said, maybe you can come over. So I don't know. I love that Sutton's like enlisting people that you got a natural immunity. I'll say, why don't you come play Uno with me? Come on, Garcelle. And Kyle's like, I've never spent Christmas totally alone. Have you? And Garcelle's like, no. And Tree's like, hi, Kathy, my old friend. And Kathy goes, yes, because she's out here now. And Garcelle goes, how's Erica? And Kathy's like, it was getting out of control. she thought Paris knew who she was. And the scene jumps to Diana, Rinna, and Erica outside on the patio. And Rinna goes, put your drink down. Take these pills instead. No, she goes, put your drink down. And Erica goes, no. And then she just gulps it. It's like, and then Garcelle to Kathy, we're cutting back and forth, goes, did you know Erica told my son to fuck off my 14-year-old? And Kathy's like, you don't ever want to put yourself in a position of drinking and then losing control and doing something stupid. Kathy's like, because then I will send you to an observational camp like I did my daughter Paris when she was young. And Garcelle goes, no, absolutely not. And Kyle goes, she's kind of loosening up and being free with all of us. And I feel like maybe she's like making little mistakes and we got to cut her some slack. It's like that kind of thing. Like, Kyle, what is like, honestly, what is, does she have some kind of nude photo of you that you don't want released? Like, why are we standing up for, like, listen, I don't care what, if somebody's doing this repeatedly, it's okay to be like, yo, dog, don't do that anymore. Yeah. And Garcelle goes, you cut her some slack, Kyle. I don't need to cut her some slack. Garcelle, what is that? What's that sound? The sound of somebody stepping up to the plate. Erica's back in her friend group. She goes, can I be honest about it? Who inspired me to take care of my mental health? It's her daughter, Amelia. And not the other one, the not Amelia girl. What's her name? And Ron's like, hey, something with a D. It's slipping my, Delilah Bell. And Erica's like, yeah, Amelia. She inspired me to shave my eyebrows off and get dick from Scott Disick. And Rinna nods proudly, like Amelia did that. And Erica goes, I'm on Lexapro. Guess what? Now I'm on Wellbutrin. And I'm on other things. And yeah, I've had a few drinks, but the truth is I'm okay. Okay. Let's be honest about mental health, like we always try to be on this show. I always try to be honest about my mental health. I take Prozac, but I have taken Wellbutrin and I have taken Lexapro in my day. There was a time where I was actually on, I would have to take Wellbutrin at night and I would take Lexapro. No, it was Wellbutrin in the morning, sorry, and Lexapro at night, because Lexapro would make me drowsy. But I will tell you, as somebody that did, drink on those medicines, not like on a daily basis, but I did have drinks, it for me personally, and I think for a lot of us, I think this is really unfair representation. Not that you should abuse both of these. It's just not good for, your insides, but it didn't make me ever Erica Jane. It doesn't make a lot of people Erica Jane. So I want to posit the theory that there are other things at play here. Maybe there's other medications that she's referring to. Remember when she referred to, I think, like Xanax earlier in the season. Now that's kind of something, you pound drinks and you take a Xanax, like, man, you're going to be on a whole nother thing. But I do want to stand up for people that take SSRIs or people that are thinking about taking it and are scared. This is not what it makes you. A lot of the chances it will help, but that's why you got to work with a doctor to really, there have been, I got off eventually Wellbutrin and Lexapro, and you got to go off at a certain pace. You can't stop anything cold turkey. and got on a Prozac. And unfortunately, nothing, like I say every week, is a miracle drug. I wish it would just be one pill and I would be happy for the rest of my life, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening anytime soon. And I'm super bummed about that. But once they invent the happy pill, I'm all in because I have no hangups about getting a little extra help. But I want to just say that to people. If you're on the fence about seeing somebody and go, well, I don't want to be Erica when I have a glass of wine, dude, you have to really try to get to where Erica is. And now she's done this repeatedly and she keeps blaming these pills like the Lexapro and the Wellbutrin. And I'm telling you, people, it does not do this. And I hope that really kind of sets in and you realize that. And Erica is a beautiful woman, but she's not like some kind of like, she's not a toothpick, she's a healthy woman. These things like, people, girls and guys that don't eat and take pills and booze, like all that stuff, that's even more dangerous. But she's a decent sized woman, her system would, I don't know. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. So, I Erica, that's got to be your lowest moment to be inspired by Amelia. I mean, that to me is rock bottom. She's like, Garcelle goes, I know we're all friends, and I just feel like sometimes we can't always be in denial just for the safety of our friendship. Seeing Erica in Mexico on the boat, she was out of control. And we get a flashback to 5 weeks earlier of Erica going, Garcelle, go down. I'll pee on the new girl. And Garcelle's like, I'm not peeing on the new girl, Erica. Nah, hell no, bitch. What? Take a poop on her. Garcelle, by the way, this Lexapro making me have really bad humor. I've not been funny at all for years now. Garcelle goes, and then we see her at my party, and we get a flashback to Erica with the son of like, what are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. And Garcelle's like, don't talk to him like that. You said to get the fuck out of here to my son. And Garcelle's like, also tonight, Asher's singing, and she's shouting, hit the high note, hit it. Kyle goes, I think I'm ultra sensitive too, Garcelle. If someone says this person's drinking too much or this person, because honestly, of our sister Kim. And Kathy does not say a damn thing. Kyle on a talking head says, it's very dangerous to throw around labels like that, like a drinking problem. And Garcelle wants me to say that. She's baiting me. So I'm not doing that. Wait, what? Kyle, you labeled your sister Kim. Like you told us a lot of these things. I mean, I would almost be a little more comforted if you had said, we saw that it really hurt my sister Kim, all the things that I revealed about her alcoholism and struggle with drugs. And so I don't want to throw those accusations out there now because it still affects Kim to this day. But she doesn't. So it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Kyle says, I just get nervous. I feel like it's a label almost. And that makes me go into like, she expands her hands and opens her mouth like, and Garcelle's like, I'm just saying that sometimes it doesn't need to be an excuse for something. It can just be bad. And Crystal goes, but it should not be excused for poor behavior. And Garcelle goes, no, right, exactly. Crystal on the talking head says, I think Kyle's idea of being a loyal friend is 100% backing the person. And I actually disagree on that. Crystal, I love you. When I'm doing something wrong, I expect my good friends to call me out, not just back me blindly. Kyle goes, well, this is not her normal behavior. I mean, I guess in all the years, but it kind of seems normal behavior for all of us watching, at least for the last year. Garcelle goes, you can say that because you've known her more. And Kyle goes, right. But Garcelle goes, I can't say that. And Kyle goes, can't you be a little open-minded and say that? Come on, Garcelle. Can't you be a little open-minded and let her be a drunk? Please. She's having such a good time. And Garcelle goes, what, that she's never done that before? I've seen her attack Sutton like nobody's business. And Kyle goes, but that wasn't drunk behavior. Oh, what? Oh, what? Erica, back to Erica singing. She goes, you know what? I couldn't have made it through this. Like this very important time of my life without Lisa and her daughters and other people like surrounding me, like Chipmunks and Beyonce. And Rita and Diana in unison are like, but that's what friends are for. That's what friends are for. Erica goes, but when you want to like parse it up and make it ugly, and make it like unfriendly
unfriendly and making like, oh my God, we don't understand. That's when you run into shit.
And Diana's like, hey. Everybody's like, thank you for this beautiful party, Diana. This is beautiful. It's your first time out. Erica, you need to go home and go to bed now, though. Like, Rena's worried. And Erica's like, who, me? And Rena's like, yes, you. And Diana's like, we have a lot of bedrooms up there. There's cameras in there. Unlike a new book, room 24. And oh God, I just had this image in my head of like threesome between Diana, Asher, and Erica. And there's like, he's like, oh, holy night.
So hit the high note, Asher. Yeah.
Erica's like,
You want to be pegged, Asher?
sorry. This is not a family podcast today, you guys. This is not, that was a lot earlier in the week. So Rena goes, do you want to stay here, Erica? And Erica goes,
are you crazy?
Erica's like,
I want to own this. I want you to give me this place.
and Rena's like, and Erica's like,
I live right down the road.
which, by the way, this is what pisses me off with these shows. It's like, man, send a camera crew with her home, man. Like I said, I want to see her go into the house. I want to see her get naked, not in a pervy way, but I want to see her eat food. I want to see the Erica Jane wasted behavior. Like, send a cameraman in there. And if somebody's so drunk, you should send a cameraman anyways, just to make sure she's safe, you know? Garcelle comes outside and goes, well, I'm saying goodbye, ladies. And Rena goes, oh, we should go too. And then Rena goes, and she laughs really hard. And by the way, you guys, thank you for all the people that said you liked the Rena voice last week, because a lot of people don't, and I don't want to hear it from you guys. Garcelle goes, I didn't come over here to start trouble, Rena. And Rena goes, no, no, I just think it's time to go. And Diana to Garcelle goes, you don't want to ruin my Christmas party? And Diana laughs again. And Garcelle's like, thank you so much for the invitation, Diana. This house is gorgeous. And Diana goes, thank you very much. Rena is trying to stand up with Erica, and Erica falls back on the sofa, legs flailing in the air, taking Rena down with her.
You're laying down here.
And they're laughing, and Rena's like, put that leg down. Diana, you help her. And Diana's like, of course. And Erica's like, love you all. And Rena's like, come on, let's go. Let's go, sister. And Garcelle's like, good luck. And Garcelle in a talking head says, maybe tonight everyone will see that Erica is having a hard time. I mean, right? I mean, I've been saying it all along. I know I'm right. I don't want to be right, but it's happening right in front of us. Rena, arm in arm with Erica, is leading her out like, Shamil, Shemazrel. She's like, bye, girls. Thank you so much. Bye, Garcelle. Love you. Let's go, Erica. Careful. Let's go to my crypt. I love the bye, Garcelle. Love you. Bye, Denise. Love you. Garcelle to Diana goes, this is really, really, really beautiful. Regarding the presentation of, the holiday spirit. And Diana's like, thank you, love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. And she's like licking her lips. And Garcelle's like, you're welcome. And Diana's like, and I would have lunch, dinner. I would love to. I think Diana's inviting her to lunch or dinner. And Diana's like, I'm sorry, like my behavior at your party was inappropriate. It really was. Sutton said few things. She literally pressed every button there is to press. Guess what? We get a flashback, even though we know this scene with like the back of our hand. Someone's like, and you're an asshole, I say. And Kyle's like, hold on. So it's like, no, she's a fucking asshole. And Diana's like, oh my God. And Son's like, you're a soulless person. And Kyle's like, stop, and shaking the shit out of her. Diana's like, you came in just really beautiful in your white dress, Garcelle. I lashed out in the worst possible way, in a rude way. And we get a flashback to Garcelle going, and Diana's like, don't touch me, to Sutton, don't. And Garcelle's like, wow. And Diana's like, you her bodyguard? And Garcelle's like, I'm not her bodyguard. Are you her mouthpiece? And Garcelle's like, you know what? That's bullshit. You're being really mean right now. And so we're back in the scene. She's like, I do apologize. And Garcelle's like, thank you for that. And Diana's like, I always feel like there's part of yourself. I see it in your eyes. Do you like me? The balls on these ladies. It's like the Erica about Paris of like, I know deep down you love me because I'm cool. Ha ha. I've never said to somebody that have ever had any kind of mix up, or I've never said to anybody that I actually think likes me like you like me. I've never, but like I would sure as hell not go, I think you like me, even though I've not done anything to be liked for. Like, never. It's so weird to me. And so Garcelle goes, yeah, well, thank you for like Garcelle doesn't go, you're right. She goes, yeah, well, thank you for tonight. Thank you for apologizing. Happy holidays, stay safe, and Merry Kwanzaa. She's just trying to get out of there, just like, what the fuck? And Diana talking heads like, I enjoy Garcelle. Well, tonight she seemed to be at ease. She's approachable. But then again, I don't know if it's me or her or Sutton not being there. Bringing it back to Sutton. Garcelle goes, okay, thank you so much. Have a good night. And Donna's like, thank you. Meanwhile, inside the house, it has turned into a full orgy. Kathy and Kyle are fully naked. No, we catch Kathy. She's up to her old Kathy antics. She's taking Kyle's purse. Kathy Hilton, it's like her and Carrot Top, queen and king of prop comedy. She takes Kyle's purse and she hides it behind one of the pillows in the sofa. She's like, I'm going to hide the purse quickly. And Kyle walks up to the sofa. She's like, where's my purse, Kathy? Where's my purse? And she's like, one of the servants took it. One of the servants. Yeah. That's, I just thought it would be great. That didn't happen, but it would be funny if Kathy was like, one of the servants took it. Yeah, just call the cops, Kyle. One of the servants stole your purse. Kyle walks up to the sofa. She's like, Kathy, come on. Kyle's like tearing apart the sofa pillows. She's like, this is not an Easter egg hunt. And Kathy's like, Kyle, you never look enough, And Kyle's now on her hands and knees looking under the sofa. And Kyle's like, what did you do with my bag? Kyle on a talking head says, I don't know what it is with my sister and wanting to hide things. And we get a flashback to Brandy Glanville going, I want to humble off. And Dana Wilkie's like, $25,000 sunglasses. And then Kim, where are the crutches? And Kim very quietly goes, I don't know. Remember that 2011? Dana Wilkie, man. I need to talk to Dana soon. I liked it. So Kyle on a talking head says, this is my sister's way of kidnapping me. She thinks if I don't have my purse, I can't leave and I can hang out and have some more fun. Okay, Kyle, then why don't you have some fun with your sister? Was that a crime? Yeah, maybe she should hide your. Maybe if that's why don't we hide Kim's? Well, get Kim over here too. Kyle's like, you literally hit it. I know you. And Kyle goes, I lost my phone. And Kyle's like, oh, don't you think I know you inside and out after all these years? And Kathy goes, where's my phone? And Kyle's like, I don't care. And Kathy goes, you don't care. And Kyle's like, nope. And Kathy goes, Kyle, can you help me find my phone? And Kyle goes, send me a message in a bottle. Bye, guys. Now, during the scene in the background, I don't know if you guys noticed, Crystal is getting her portrait done with Mario. And she's got one knee up on a Santa's sleigh. And it's very provocative. It's very erotic. This will be in the Room 24 book, the sequel to Room 23 I was just talking about. The next day, you guys. So that's that scene. That was a big, gonna give myself a huge round of applause. I think we really did some good work there, folks. I hope you agree with what I just said about it. I'm like Eric and Dan, like,
I think I did really good on that scene, y'all.
oh my God. What is wrong with me that I can't make? Dude, I didn't even do other news stories and this is looking like it's going to be 2.5 hours. What is wrong with me? This is just Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Why am I treating this like it's like the Godfather saga? What? Other shows I can recap, like Southern Charm. I get bam, bam. I mean, I don't know. Who knows, right? But there's probably conversations like this that really make it not as tight as it should be. Also, I'm so pissed. It's like midnight. The new Beyonce album's out, and I've got work. Ugh. Got all the kids are having fun listening to the new Beyonce album, and old Ryan's having to put in burning the midnight oil, doing that Beverly Hills recap. I always said when it became work, I'd get out of the game. That's not true. I've never said that in my life about anything. So we're now in a scene finally with 3PO, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, 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 and PK, Punta Mita. You got to go to Punta Mita. That's where you go. Sorry, that's just a line that I love that PK said many episodes ago. So this is a scene between PK and Dorit. Uh PK's like, honey, hello. And he's like coming in his little tracksuit, and Dorit's like, yeah. And PK's like, I'm a little bit jaded. Off it all right. And Dorit's like, beep boop bop beep boop boop boop. Jaded is not, you don't say. No, it's not jaded. And PK's like, it's not the right word. And Dorit's like, no, jaded in the US is very different than it is. You know, she's a child of the world. So PK's like, well, jaded in the UK means like you just don't. And Dorit's like, you just don't feel like yourself. And PK's like, I had to deal with my mum and dad on the press that came out on suspicion of DUI. And remember, I forgot this. We see a dailymail.com headline that PK was, remember, it was like suspicion of DUI. I forgot all about this. PK Kemsley was arrested on suspicion of DUI in California a month after his wife, Dorit, was robbed at gunpoint in their LA home. And Dorit's like, oh, yeah, I know. I had to deal with a gazillion people texting me. Beep, boop, bop, beep, boop, boop. And Dorit and I talking, it was like 3 weeks ago. And by the way, Dorit, I'm not a fashion person, but you looked amazing. She's in this like gold, like literally like kind of a C3PO gold, but it has, I think, like this, like some queen on like a print, and it's just really stunning. I don't know how to describe fashion, but I thought it looked really good. Not sure what you guys think, but I thought it looked awesome. She's like, 3 weeks ago, PK went to a work dinner at a casino. No, PK went to a work dinner. He was driving home after having a glass of wine, and he got pulled over and brought to the station. You guys, I don't know how a DUI works, but first off, what are the chances that PK had only one glass of wine? Like, we've even seen him drink. What are the chances? Regardless, like, do the police, are they nice like that, where they like take you to the station? Like, they're like, it seemed like they, so we see a Daily Mail Los Angeles news video where the announcer's like, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star PK Kemsley arrested for DUI. And then senior reporter Caitlin Becker's like, PK has been driving home from dinner last month when he was pulled over on the 101 freeway, was held at the station for an hour, and then driven home by California Highway Patrol. And we get lots of photos of PK and Dorit floated across the news screen. Dorit in a talking head goes, here we are, weeks later, and suddenly the press has found out. These scoundrels in the press, they found out magically about PK getting pulled over for suspicion of DUI. And PK is like, didn't I leave London for a few days later or something, or a day later? And Dorit's like, God, PK, it's like the days just blend into one another. Dorit in a talking head goes, I found out the next day. He told me, but PK was really, really, really upset about it. And then he went to London, and now we have to have the conversation again, because now I'm annoyed again. And PK is like, I haven't even told you like the anxiety I went through. I haven't really had a chance to update you. And dude's like what? And PK's like, well, when they asked me to blow into the machine, I said, how much is this going to cost me? No, he goes, they said the legal limit is 0.8 and I'm at a 0.81 and it's getting late. I didn't want you to worry about where I was, you know? And he's like, so you were pulled over by the police on suspicion of Dewey, and you were anxious about me worrying about you being late. Well, isn't that the devil's PJs? It's like, this sounds like a really horrible I Love Lucy episode of like, Ricky, you were worried about me when you were doing the drunk driving. Come on, Lucy. PK's like, yeah. And Dorit's like, yeah, I don't think so, PK. No. And PK's like, I'm telling you, all I wanted to do was call you, but I couldn't call you because my hands were behind my back. You know, do you understand? I couldn't use my phone and I'm still handcuffed. I'm handcuffed when I'm blowing the second time. And this time I'm blowing under a 0.73. And Dorit's like, you're under the limit. I know. And PK's like, I'm well under the limit. I'm like, I could have another glass of wine. No, he goes, I decided because I wasn't booked or such that they just gave me a ticket and I wasn't going to tell you the whole thing happened. Great decision, PK. That was real top notch husband thinking. I do, but this is what confuses me. So you're allowed to blow once and then you're allowed to go back with them to the station and then blow again? Are you allowed to piss? Like, what do you, I mean, are the cops like super nice? Like, or is this like a rich person thing? Like, I don't understand how. I'm sure I'm missing a piece here, but he's 0.81 and then they're like, hey, why don't you try it again? Why don't you drive with us to the station and we'll try it again, buddy? Hey, you know. Um, so Dorit's like, there is one thing and one thing only that is extremely important to me, as you know, in our marriage. And PK's like, oh, butt stuff. He's like, which is what? And Dorit's like, we don't lie to one another. Look at me, PK. We don't lie to one another. Beep, boop, bop, beep, boop, boop. And PK's like, no. And Dorit goes, period. And PK's, baby, I decided not a little lie, not a big lie, not a white lie, not a beige lie, not a little bitty titty lie. Beep, boop, bop, beep. Not a lie in the sky. Not a lie on the floor. Now it's Dr. Susan. Not a lie when you go to screen. Sorry. PK goes, oh, decided I was telling you something. And Drew goes, wait a second. And PK is like, there isn't a husband in the world, haven't you been through what you've been through, that would have woken you up at 4 a.m. to tell you that. So also, this is the time I need to know that. So 4 a.m, he's at the police station. Like, does he get pulled over at 4 a.m? Like, what place is he having one glass of wine at like 2 a.m? Dorit's like, I didn't ask you to wake me up at 4 a.m. And PK's like, I didn't have to volunteer. The fact I wasn't going to tell you immediately, but I did. And Dorit's like, are you kidding me, PK? The only reason why you did is you needed me to pick up your car. And PK's like, yes, yes. Dorit gives him the look like, oh, I'm a wife scorned. And Dorit and I are talking there, goes, count your blessings that I'm the only one who has to get the car out. So therefore you had to tell me, beep, boop, bop, beep, boop, boop. Because if I found out about this when the press found out about it, ooh, buddy, you'd have much bigger problems. You'd have 2 black eyes. I'd give you a ticket to the gun show. Look. And then she's now lifting her. Look at these. These are the guns. She kisses her biceps. Look at me. The gun show, I tell you. I'd kill you, PK. I'd give you a little bit of a 1-2, and then I'd go, Jagaloo, finish your father off. Yes, mommy, it's me, Jagaloo. I'm going to hop on your nuts. Good going, Jagaloo. Beep, boop, bop, 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 bop. Dorit goes, there's no one in the world I trust more than you. If I think for 1 second that you ever would lie to me, you'll crush me in 2 seconds. I want to see that scene. Dorit realizing that PK might lie to her. I'm being crushed in 2 seconds. And PK was like, baby, no, I won't ever lie to you. But I could sometimes delay telling you something or pick my time. I was going to tell you I slept with that hooker. I was going to, but on my time. Dorit in a talking head says, if PK didn't take this seriously or was casual about it, I would be far more annoyed, but I could tell. He had the scare of his life. Did he? What about the scare of his life when he found out burglars broke in? This was the scare of it. I think he's learned a lot of lessons. Thank God that he's okay and he didn't hurt anybody. And Dorit's like, don't do it again, PK. And PK's like, no chance ever. Dorit goes, because I was about to kill you. I'm about to cut you. Get your insides out. And let the kids play jump rope with your lower intestine. People, drones fly across with a big camera, like to Erica's little pool house thing. And Erica's like, Diva, mermaid, and icy. And Erica's like fingering some labels for the hair extensions she's selling. And Jack, Erica's publicist, like, that's 25 colors. We got the clip-in samples for you as well. He pulls just hair out of a bag. They're just getting hair off of anything. Like, this is probably cat hair for all we know. Erica's like,
Oh shit, that's healthy.
I love that Erica can feel some hair.
Oh shit, that's fucking good shit. Oh, that smells like real hair.
They pass around a hair sample to Mikey, the creative director, and Leia, the assistant. Everybody touches it. By the way, I'd be like, dude, did I get the hair that everybody fucking passed around? I don't want hair that Mikey touched. Mikey's like, I'm so glad this is finally happening. So many years of talking about this, you know? And then Rena arrives and she's putting down her umbrella because it's a rainy day and she's greeted by Tiago the dog. And we're just like, hi. You know, Tiago's like, you know, because it's a demon. And Rena's like, hi, hi. And Erica's like,
How are you, baby?
and Mike is like, mom, 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 we're having a hair meeting. And Rena's like, you guys, I didn't know the gang was going to be here. Erica shows Rena photos on the computer showing examples of different hair extensions. And Rena's like, I love these photos. Are these digital? This is great pixelation, great hair. And Erica in a talking head goes,
I know what it's like to have it all.
and they do a flashback to her on a private jet going,
Victoria, can I have some, do we have any chamomile tea on this private jet? Well, I want you to take it along with some lobster and just throw it out the window. I want to piss on it.
and then we see a scene of Mikey taking Erica to the real closet in the Pasadena mansion. And he's like, oh, much better. And Erica's like, and then another scene with Tom showing her the Cartier Panther ring. And Erica's like,
It's amazing. It's wonderful.
and Tom's like, isn't it great? Did you hear that story when I was a kid? John Wayne.
I've heard the story, Tom.
No, John Wayne, I shit you not. He would love to see this Panther ring. Erica is showing the girls the ring in person when she gets it. And we're just like, what is it, Cartier? I'm used to Kay's jeweler. And Eric's like, that's a power look. And Kyle's like, what did you do to get this? And Erica's like,
I did what every woman does to get it. I'm good. I let him skull fuck me. Yeah, I got a glass eye.
so I'm so sorry. But you know what? Like, listen, dude, I like, you know, when I'm lucky enough to have it, I've enjoyed sexual intercourse from time to time. And always completely legal and all, you know, everything. I'm wearing a full burqa when I do it. But you know, I just sometimes I know I'm a fuddy duddy here, but like I did what every woman does to get it. I'm good. Like it's that same kind of la Kent bullshit. It's like, shouldn't a relationship like be hypersexual? Sure, but shouldn't it kind of be built on mutual admiration and respect? And it's not like I gave him good dome, so I got a Panther ring. I let him play around with my anus, so I got this Beamer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so demeaning even to hear about because you see the downfall of it, and you're like, well, this is what that BJ got you. You know, how was it? You know, were you that good that he took you for a ride? You know, Erica and I talking there goes,
I'm going to work my ass off. I'm going to get everything back with this hairline.
They flashed to 1 month earlier. Erica's at the photo shoot for her hair extensions with music playing. And these words say,
you want that boss life, then come and see about it. You want to talk to the boss? Talk to me about it.
Erica and I talking head goes,
why hair?
And the producer's like, I didn't even ask about hair. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why hair? Because I've worn it all. Every type of extension, clip-in, ponytail, tape, keratin, you name it, I've worn it. And on Erica Jane, on stage, off stage for well over a decade. I have a lot of knowledge just for having it in my head.
This is what I was talking about earlier, 8 hours ago, that this is the kind of shit they just get to sell their wares, you know, whether it be Rena Beauty or you know, Erica's like, I don't know about hair. You gotta get hair. Like they get it to have their little commercial. And this is their little commercial. I mean, this is not Beverly Hills is not the only, every reality show does this in some form. I mean, the Kardashians have built an empire around doing the same thing. So Rena's clapping, going, very exciting, new adventure, huge. And Mike is like, I know, and on brand, and a long time coming. I might get paid this month. And Rena's like, major. And Jack's like, I'm going to leave you with this stuff. And Erica's like,
well, actually, Mikey, you stay.
And I'm like, what? Why is Mikey like,
I want you here when Rena stays. I don't trust Rena.
And Mikey's like, how was your holiday party? And Mikey sometimes does sound like Fred Schneider from the B-52s. Tin roof, rusted, love shack, baby love. And Mikey goes, and Rena goes, how was your holiday party? And Erica goes,
I don't really remember.
and Rena's like, I wouldn't think you would. Our girl, Mikey, was shit-faced. Erica winces and Rena goes, I mean, you were slurring your words. Did you black out when you got home? And she goes,
Yeah, I hit my head.
and Rena pushes out a big sigh like, ah.
Then I vomited.
And Rena goes, oh shit.
Yeah.
Erica and talking to her goes,
The holidays are hard for everybody. And they are particularly hard for me this year because you have great memories of your family and your holidays before and past when things were loving and great. And you got a lot of gifts, a lot of money thrown around. And now it feels like it's desolate. And I don't want to be in a sad, depressing place. I want to have a good time. I want to feel good. I want to have fun. And so, yeah, you know what? Oh, but then.
I mean, like, listen, it is sad. Like, it's sad. Of course, this is a huge adjustment. And I hope she has a really good therapist. And I hope she's trying to not like, it's like, not be so fucking into yourself that you have the audacity to say some of the shit you do, but like really appreciate that you are still free and that you have, things could have gone even worse than this. And I know that's hard to imagine, but like she does have a son. She does, like, she could go and try to like spend time with actual family and friends and try to pull or these people. And that's what scares me is that, like, is Rena truly her only good friend? Is anybody else there besides her assistant and Mikey trying to pull her out? It does not seem like she has great friends. But it never really did on the show. But also the show is not an accurate representation of their lives, obviously. Eric goes,
This is the fallout of everything that happened.
and Renee goes, with the antidepressants, what happens is the drink is 5 times stronger, maybe more. That's just not true. I was like, oh my God, is that true? I'm about to take a lot of my pills. 5 times stronger? This is just a load of horseshit. This is inaccurate representation about SSRIs. And like, I really don't stand for a lot, but in my life, but I stand for actually speaking accurately about things that like actually benefit your mental health. And that's just bullshit. It is like inaccurate representation. And this show should literally take that scene out. Erica goes,
Having a cocktail has been a routine part of socializing.
and Renee goes, I know. And Mikey goes, of course. And Erica's like,
And it's hard to regulate and say, because of medication I'm on, I absolutely cannot touch this.
and Renee goes, you're out of control. You're like Harry on a solo camping trip. Mikey goes, well, if someone had known you for 12, almost 13 years, I've known you. You're not a drinker, but the two things are just not mixing. And Renee goes, right. And Rena talking to her goes,
Mikey's fat.
sorry, Rena goes, Mikey's family to Erica. And I'm probably closest to Erica. So Erica's in a place where she needs to hear what the two of us have to say. Period. End of story. And Rena's like, you can't cross that line because it's not good for you, Erica.
It's reckless.
It is.
Because you know what? The truth is, I could have hurt myself. I could have fell on a Taco Bell wrapper and just knocked my head in the dirt. And it can just happen like that.
And Rena goes, you have gone through tremendous trauma. Your husband was not the guy that you or any of us thought he was. You have had to deal with it because you were married to him. And Eric goes like, yeah. And Rena goes, you went to this place because you're in a lot of pain. It feels like Rena is leading the witness here. Like, this, agree with me. This is, I'm telling the audience, right? Go with me here. And Eric goes,
Oh my God.
Rena and I talking to her goes, I come from experience. I've seen it. Rena's sister died when she was 6 of a drug overdose, when Rena was 6, not the sister. Everyone knew she was in pain, Rena says, but she was not considered an addict. She was medicating herself. So I understand why Erica would want to self-medicate or numb herself or try to have a good time or whatnot. I understand it. And listen, I understand that very well. Erica's dabbing her tears with a napkin, a very emotional episode for Erica. And sometimes you genuinely do feel bad for her But you know, so Rena's like, you have to stop this now because you can't do it anymore. So it's like a little mini intervention that I was like, did they try to make it a intervention with more of the ladies and people just didn't want to go? And Erica's like, no. And Rena's like, it's just not who you are. And Erica's like,
And this is like, hard to accept because I've always prided myself on always being so controlled.
and Rena goes, I know.
I pushed it too far. I did the wrong thing. Sometimes, it's hard to be really honest with your friends, but thank you for saying, hey, you know what? You gotta stop that shit.
And Rena's like, we all hit rock bottom. Everybody has a rock bottom moment. And I think this is yours. And Erica's like, yeah. Okay, well, she fixed it. You guys, that was easy. Listen, the Renerventions, that's what we're going to call it. Renerventions. A Renovention. She did it. She cured Erica Jane. So I do not think we will have a problem. This is done. We have fixed the Erica Jane problem. So we are back on track. And I don't think we will see any more drinking from Erica for the rest of the season. I'm just proud of everybody involved. We did it. We did it, Joe. Problem solved. Great scene. We're in a new day in Beverly Hills. We're at Crystal's house. Crystal on a talking head says Christmas wasn't as big as it normally is because we have like a lot of older aunties and uncles that were kind of concerned about COVID. My family, we do Christmas Eve because it's more of a Christmassy thing. We see a picture of Rob, Crystal, and the kids dressed in matching Christmas jammies. And on Christmas Day, we see all our friends who happen to be Jewish, and we do kind of a Hanukkah meets Christmas dinner. Then we get over to the Hamlin residence. Rena on a talking head goes, I think holidays bring you back to how you celebrate with your family. And it makes me reminisce about the good times. And remember, this is her first Christmas away from her mom, Lois. And she goes, Lois in November. And then, we had Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I was like, God, but I was lucky to spend, every Christmas with my mom. And, I think of it in a positive way. And we see a lot of assorted photos of Lisa with Lois and Harry and the entire family. Next is Garcelle. And Garcelle on a talking head says, Christmas was great. We were in Vegas hanging out with the family, doing the matching jammies. You know what? I've never really done. I've done like the matching jammy thing. My ex-wife, she made me put like a holiday sweater on a couple times. And the bat was like the last year that things were really bad. And she had hired somebody to come over and take holiday photos. And we were not in a good place. And it was bad. It was just, I just remember thinking like, this is wild. Like I'm taking holiday photos and we are the worst we've ever been. Like this is going to go out to everybody and we're all smiles, so weird. Christmas really does do a weird holidays do a weird number on everybody. And now we got to Sutton, my lady. Sutton's like, well, I had COVID during Christmas. Blah, blah, blah. I say, there's nothing better than spending Christmas Day alone. And I bought myself a Christmas present. And it was a ring. And we see this gorgeous giant blue sapphire surrounded by diamonds along the line of Princess Diana's epic sapphire ring. I hid it from myself. I was like, what'd you get me, Sutton? Well, Sutton, I got you a diamond ring. So she's like, I had to open up something for Christmas. 2021 was a weird year, I say. So I'm thinking about 2022. That is it. So 10 days later, we're at Garcelle's house, and Garcelle's like, by the way, you remember her house? She's like at the power plant. Like this is like the end of a cul-de-sac, it seems, like up on a hill. Not on a hill, like literally the hill is like, it's her house and there's like a hill, like they built the house right next to a hill. Garcelle goes, I'm doing the audio version of my book. Have you listened to the book? She asked her son, and Jade 14 says, never. And I never want to. Books suck. And Garcelle's like, you're horrible. I mean, Jade, you're a great student. Why are you talking like that? Because books suck, Mom. I hate reading. I can barely read. And Garcelle's like, well, that's a problem. Her doorbell rings. Garcelle's like, who is it? And so's like, it's Santa. Santa Sutton, I'll say. And Garcelle's like, hi. And she's like, hi. And she's like, you look so cute. You have cooties? And so's like, no, I'm the invisible man. So are you. And they hug. And Garcelle's like, Jade, say hi. And Jade's like, hi, reading sucks. And Son's like, well, nice to see you. Would it be great if it was like Erica Jane? Yeah, what are you doing here? I'll say, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Can I still say Merry Christmas? Sutton asks. Jay goes, maybe. And Sutton's like, well, it's not January 6th yet. We have 2 more days. By the way, with the January 6th is that when did the insurrection ruin the holidays? January 6th, isn't that the insurrection? So Sutton's like, well, no, not January 6th. That's when we can't say Merry Christmas no more. I had never heard of that as a thing. Like, was that insurrection related? And Garcelle goes, oh, it's January 6th. And Sutton's like, yeah. And Garcelle goes, when do you stop saying Happy New Year? And Jay goes, after New Year, reading sucks. And Sutton's like, well, like, I think you get the whole month. And Jay's like, no, I think you have the day. Reading sucks. And Sutton's like, oh, stop. Give us more than that. I'll say. And Garcelle's like, we need more time. And Garcelle's like, sit wherever, Sutton. And Sutton's like, well, did you change this look? And Garcelle's like, well, I did because of the tree. When the tree is gone, we'll go back. 2022. I'm so hopeful. But what I'm really looking forward to is I'm really trying to make a change within myself. And Sutton's like, well, I keep saying I'm going to be better. And Garcelle's like, better than what? And Sutton's like, I don't know, like my temper. And Garcelle goes, oh, Diana, yeah. She had a holiday party. Well, tell me about the house. I'll say. And Garcelle's like, it's gorgeous. She had these big balls of light everywhere, like outside, and Asher sang. His hair was flowing. I love Asher saying his hair was flowing. It was amazing. His hair was flowing. And Sutton's like, very Harry Styles. In his fine line era, I'll say. And Garcelle's like, Erica, once again, was more than tipsy. I'll just say we should look into it. It's not like she's just letting loose. And Sutton's like, look, I'm not figuring anything out. I'll say. And Garcelle's like, no, you don't do anything with her. I'll take care of it. I love Garcelle's like, no, I got this handled. And Sutton's like, no, yes. Thank you. And Sutton in a talking head goes, well, I'll say that's going to go over well. Excuse me, Erica. I think you got a problem. I'm going to get my face eaten off. And Garcelle's like, so how have you been? COVID and all, Christmas by yourself? And she's like, I'm like, anybody? Come on. And Garcelle's like, first, the kids were with Christian, and I knew that was a bother. And so I was like, well, no, they were in Italy. No, I am alone. I just thought, wow. I'll say, this is my life as a single person. And Garcelle's like, I know. And someone's like, well, I got to fix that. Dude, she's looking, you guys. Garcelle's like, yeah, but you're not going to fix that just because you were alone and nervous. And someone's like, no, but I made it also like, maybe put my guard down a little bit. I'll say, like, maybe I can soften. And she rolls her eyes. I'm like, I will soften you, Sutton. Soften with Sutton. The softening with Sutton's track. By the way, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, listen, when she's saying her guards down a little bit, that's the perfect time for Ryan Bailey, man. I get right in there like a virus. Sutton in a talking head goes, well, I think it's important to put myself out there. And it's not fun to be alone. Might as well go on a date. And also, what else do I have to do? I'll say. Garcelle goes, so did you talk to Christian? Has he seen anybody? And Sutton's like, yeah, he's got a very serious girlfriend. And Garcelle's like, oh, wow. And Sutton's like, who was in Italy with him? I'll say. And Garcelle's like, oh, I know. I did not know. And Garcelle's like, with the kids? And Sutton's like, uh-huh. And Garcelle's like, you were alone and they were all together. And Sutton's like, oh, hearing it, I'll say in retrospect, well, that's even sadder for me. And Garcelle's like, I know. Sutton in a talking head goes, Garcelle and I are bonded over being divorced single mothers who share custody with our ex-husbands. And you kind of just want somebody to talk to because we don't have men. Oh God, this is like we need a reboot of Fried Green Tomatoes. Remember that movie with Kathy Bates and just great movie. But we could do this with Sutton and Garcelle. And that's what we respect in one another, me and Garcelle. And Sutton's like, gosh, the failure of it all. Oof. Garcelle's like, stop it right now. What the failure of it all? Because we had a marriage that got dissolved. Like, Sutton's like, well, because you're so vulnerable when you're sick like that. And you don't have anybody. Dude, Sutton, I am so close. I would have ran over to Rite Aid, got you sherbet. I love that's the first thing I think of. I have like a great DVD collection. I could introduce you to Counting Crows. Like, dude, that's what kills me, man. Like seeing Vicky at the Counting Crows show last night, like just thinking I was like, I could have been here with Sutton. Like Sutton, This is Counting Crows. Like, oh my God, Ryan, these guys are great. Mr. Jones, I'll say, well, Mr. Bailey and me. And then I put my arm around Sutton and I give her like a kiss. Anyways, Sutton goes, well, I called like every ex-boyfriend I think I ever had. And Garcella's like, what? She's like, I pretty much did. And Garcella's like, did you give somebody COVID? She's like, no. I called them on the phone. I'll say. And Garcella's like, okay. And they both laugh. And Son's like, well, I called everybody. I'm like, I'm dying for company. And Garcella's there like, hey, oh, she's still alive. And they laugh. And Son's like, no one called me. The Ballad of Sutton. I was alone in my house. It's a big old house. I got myself a ring. 'Cause nobody got me a thing. I opened my phone. COVID got me good. And then I dialed every number looking for a soul to touch. I say, so I called every one of my ex-boyfriends and I said, what's up? It's me, Sutton. I got myself a gift. What you doing with your life? Remember when you finger blasted me in 99? So it's a sorry. So it's a brand new day in Beverly Hills and we're at Sutton's house. And Joshua, the assistant, who's always there. By the way, was Joshua like sitting in the car outside of Garcelle's that night? Joshua was like, so what are we doing? Are we looking for tonight? And Sutton's like, for date number 5. And Joshua's like, number 5. And so like, yeah. And Joshua's like, I thought it was only number 4. And Sutton's like, well, I can't keep up. Listen, I'm not a numbers woman. I've been busy. Sutton in the talking head says, I've been on 5 dates the last year. I like tall. I like someone who has a job. I like someone that's educated. Deal breakers would be an affection towards hoodies, a ponytail, and a white unmarked van. Oh, okay. Listen, let's talk here. Let's talk turkey. I'm 6'0". That's proven. That is not like it's 6 foot, like flat out. I don't know if you consider that tall, but I know it's definitely not short. As far as the job goes, okay, I am employed through iHeartRadio and I've got like a Patreon as well. So it's kind of like a self-made thing, but there's not like it's an actual, I work on a daily basis, Sutton. You like someone that's educated. Well, guess what? Somebody went to the Harvard of the West. That's right. Arizona State University. And I have a theater degree. So some could say, yeah, I'm kind of educated. I'm very smart. Deal breakers. Here's where we get into some hazy areas, an affection towards hoodies. I am wearing a hoodie right now. And listen, I'm willing to give hoodies up for you. If it's that much of a deal breaker, I do not want to lose the love of my life. I will burn all of my hood. In fact, we'll have a burning ceremony this weekend. And maybe I could do like a smoke signal and well, I believe Ryan's actually burning those hoodies finally. I'll say, well, maybe I can go on a date with him. Yeah, I do like hoodies, but listen, maybe you've just never seen me in a hoodie. I don't have a ponytail at all. My pubes are long, but I wouldn't say pony. I don't have a white unmarked van. I have like a silver Toyota Corolla. But yeah, it's there's a license plate. It's fully registered through California. So Sutton's like, so I want to look relaxed tonight, but not slutty. I think this is cute. And she considers this pink polka dot blouse. And Josh is like, looks a little Valentine-ish. 4 months earlier at the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, Andy's like, your boyfriend Michael broke up, unfortunately, with you recently. What happened? And so like, yes, we went on a nice Valentine's weekend and he broke up with me. And Andy's like, on Valentine's weekend? So it's like, yes. By the way, that is one of the weirder things. Like at least like with Vicky Gunvalson's ex, like he waited until she went to Dorinda's house for Ultimate Girls Trip to break up with her. This dude like went away with her on a Valentine's Day weekend. Like there's got to be a story there. There just has to be a story there. Andy, I need you to ask follow-up questions. Like, come on, man. This is why I have 3-hour podcasts, because I'm so inquisitive. So Sutton in a talking head goes, well, that might point out that you want the best data, but I'm just gonna try it again, see maybe I can get better at it. Dude, Sutton, warm up with me, dude. I will put you through your paces in terms of a date. Like, I'll get all sweaty and nervous, and you'll have to deal with that. And it's like, listen, this could make you stronger for dates down the line. But then if it was a romantic comedy, I would be the guy that like takes her out on test dates, and then she's like, Ron, Ryne, Ron, I think I might be falling for you. And I know you're my practice date, but I think I'm falling heads over heels. And then I play a long December. Long December. Okay. Anyways, the producer goes, have you ever thought about a friends with benefits situation? Which, if you guys don't know at home, that means it's friends that bone, but they're just friends. And someone's like, no, what friend? I've gay friends. I'll say, I'm not sure they want that benefit. She's like, Josh, poke around, see you like anything that you see, feel around, see you like any of my bits and pieces. I say, Sutton's back to Josh going, I'm telling you, that red is cute. And Josh is like, I know, I like the red. And Sutton's like, but not like with black leather pants. Dude, Sutton really does have a hang up with black leather pants. She goes, I think that says something that I don't want to convey. What does black leather pants convey? I'm Motley Crue. I'm not Shannon Bedore. Come on. I'm not that easy. Leather. Well, leather pants, not on God's green earth. Sounds like, well, I have to look sexier or not sexy enough. Across town, Dorit is arriving at Kyle's house. Dorit enters and greets the dog. She's like, hi, baby. Hi, Stormy. Hello, Pooches. I am Dorit. And Kyle's like, how are you? Cute glasses. You drove here yourself. And Dorit's like, I did. Now, that's a big step for Dorit. Like, remember when she said she didn't like to drive a couple episodes ago? Kyle goes, can I get you a tea? And Dorit's like, you don't have to run around. We can just sit and chat for a bit. On Love Island, they always like, Ipo me for a chat. We had a good chit chat. They always love saying, Ipo me for a chat, a little chit chat. And Kyle's like, okay, it'd be so hard to run over and get you a tea. Come on, Dorit. Dorit's like, oh my God, oh my goodness. And Kyle's like, let's have a spot of tea in honor of PK's home from London. I don't know. Every time I drink tea, I think about London. Oh, Kyle, you're crazy. And Dorit's like, yeah, well, it's true. Well, the headline kills me, Kyle. And Kyle's like, which headline? And Dorit's like, the headline about PK being arrested for a Dewey. It's just funny that it surfaces like weeks later and you see those headlines and you're like, oh my gosh, PK. Dorit secretly loves to be in the press. Oh, they just can't get enough of me and my family. They love us. Kyle's like, I know. And Dorit's like, when something comes out in the tabloids and people that you know and people you haven't spoken to in however long, they love to send a message. And now I'm going to have to talk about it with everyone. Everyone's going to ask questions. Let's relive it again and again and again and again and again. Oh my goodness. And Kyle's like, by the way, he told Mao. This is Mauricio. And Dorit's like, I know. And Kyle's like, and Mao didn't say anything to me. And I was like, didn't have a chance in this situation. Have you guys noticed that Kyle mumbles and rambles on a little bit incoherently lately? Like, she doesn't really finish. She doesn't make complete sentences. Like, you can pick up what she's saying, but they just kind of, I don't know if you've noticed that. Dorit goes, I know. He tells Mao everything immediately. Hey, Mao, I cheated on Dorit. Oh, did you? He literally does. And he trusts him with, with his life. He'd take a bullet for him, Kyle. Where did this come from? He'd die. He would die for your husband, please. He would get chopped up for him, Kyle. Kyle's like, that must have been stressful for just take a bullet for him. I can't. Kyle and I talking and says, it's really nice that Mao and PK have a great relationship, but clearly something major happened and Mauricio never bothered to tell me about it. What I'm not going to do is pretend like it's a big deal or it didn't hurt my feelings, because it does. I mean, nobody likes to be on the outside looking in, right? So, but is that weirder than it? I mean, Mal, like, guys do that though. Guys like kind of like, I'll hear good information and either I'll like just totally forget about it in space or think, oh, it's not my business to tell. And I don't know. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I don't know if that's necessarily the deal that people think it is. It's like Mauricio was like, oh yeah. Okay, cool. Hey brother, you got a Dewey? Nice, brother. Yeah, let's smoke this fatty. Dewey goes, anyway, I'm going to sit over here. And she moves out of this uncomfortable looking chair that looks like a wheelchair and curls up on a sofa next to Kyle. And Kyle's like, what I was going to say is, I mean, obviously, because we'll always say never, never, never. So of course I'd like be annoyed with Mao. But the truth is, like, I mean, they're big guys. You think like you really wouldn't think that having that little would get you taken into the station. But this is just a reminder and a lesson to everyone. So scary. She barely got that out of her mouth. And Dude's like, I know it is scary. Beep, boop, bop, beep, boop, boop. And Kyle's like, I mean, when I see a place even when I haven't had a drink, I feel like I have a dead body in my trunk that I'm hiding. So I can only imagine that if you're being pulled over and then questioning you, I would have died. Listen, there's a real good chance Kyle has killed somebody and she's had a dead body in her car. Like I didn't even think about it until I saw this episode. And when she said like a dead body in my trunk, what a weird place to go. And then I'm like, she's definitely killed somebody. Dorit's like, I know, like you do. And Kyle's like, luckily, as a mom, the newer generation, none of them drive. So, and Dorit's like, I know. Kyle's like, so one less thing to worry about. Dorit's like, I know, I'm grateful for that. Well, that's another reason I love my family and friends. I like when I go to bed at night, I look at them, there's like all my kids in the bed. And, even if Alexia, because she's 25 and she still lives at home, okay. And Dree's like, oh my God, does she know that you check every single night where these girls are? And Kyle's like, they all know. They check on me too, which I think they mean by their phone apps, like find my phone. But also I think it's funny if Kyle is randomly going in and doing bed checks. And then the girls also are waking up and doing bed checks on Kyle. And then obviously, what if they do the bed check at the same time? And they're like, mom's not in her bed. And Kyle's like, oh, my daughters aren't in their bed. And it's just a comedy of errors, So Dorit's like, oh my God, Kyle, this is the most beautiful relationship you have with your kids. Oh my God, I love it. I hope little Jagaloo checks on mommy all my life. Kyle's like, well, they put it on there. I didn't. Mal put it on there. I see it's got to be the phone app. And Dorit's like, honey, I love that. And Kyle's like, the whole family, they all check. And Dorit's like, I love that, honey. We all love it, honeys. We all love it. We all love it. Oh, so yeah, I think it's got to be find my thing on the iPhone app. Dorit and I talking there goes, open doorway of communication is so important to me. Beep boop bop beep boop boop boop. I tell my kids the same thing I tell my husband. You do not drink that much ever. And she goes, never lie to me. Look at me, little Jagaloo. Look at me. Never lie to me. Not a little lie, not a big lie. Not a fat lie, not a skinny lie, not a lie over here, not a lie over there. No matter what it is, if you come and you tell me, we will always get through it. And it will be so much better than if I find out and you lied to me. Which, by the way, this is the time I feel Kyle should be like, I did kill somebody. There's a dead body in my trunk. Oh, Kyle, at least you told me. Let's go bury that body together. Kyle's like, all right, what do you have to do the rest of the day? And Dorit's like, I have back-to-back meetings in a couple of hours. Beverly Beach. No, she goes, I have a bunch of things to do beforehand, so I'm going to dash out, my love. And Kyle's like, don't forget your phone. And Dorit's like, yeah, thank you. It's really funny, Kyle, because those sunglasses that you liked, I can't find them anywhere. Kyle, really funny. Beep boop bop beep boo boo. And Kyle's like, you probably put them in your bag, although I'm not above stealing your sunglasses. And Dorit goes, I know. Just like Freddie Mellencamp's husband stole all your purses, allegedly. So it's evening and we see Sutton entering Ronin Restaurant on Melrose. And you guys, I live literally 2 blocks from Ronin. Like, honestly, like I could if I had a little bit more upper strength, I could throw a rock right now and hit Ronin. I'd have to go outside to do it. Like I couldn't do it through the walls of my actual bedroom. It's just physically impossible. I don't have that kind of magic. But if I went outside and I could throw a rock at Ronin, and just to think I was in that same space with Sutton and Sanjit, her date, and just like that, I could have been there. And my fucking roommate orders pizza from this place all the time. And it just crushes me. She chooses, by the way, for this date, a black miniskirt, a blue and white kitty sweater, a black jacket, and black booties. It's cute. So Son's like, how are you? And Son's like, this is my son. how are you? And then Sanjit's like, I'm good. I'm good. Now, for you YouTubers, you see what I'm doing. For the people at home, I've got my Sutton little cutout here on Sutton's track. And then Sanjit is a poop emoji. I'm Sanjit. I'm dating Sutton, and I think I'm cool, but I'm not. And by the way, Sanjit actually seems like a nice guy, and I was sent his LinkedIn, and he's very professional, and he's went to law school, and I guess he was on Jeopardy. And it's like, whatever, man, whatever, dude. I'm more of a Wheel of Fortune guy. I'm white collar, I'm blue collar. I'm a Wheel of Fortune man. Like, and I'm sorry you're all fancy with your what is zebras or Prometheus or whatever the fuck the answer is on Jeopardy. But I'm just, yeah, I'm like a blue collar dude. I'm a small town guy. And I still think I could show Sutton a better time than you, Sanjit. I will not release your LinkedIn because I don't do that to people. So Sanjit's like, sorry. Son's like, how are you? And Sutton's like, well, and this is like a pizza place, yeah? And Sanjit's like, hello. And he's wearing a white sweater with a front zipper and blue jeans. And he has a small bald spot on the top of his head. Guess what, fuckers? Guess who doesn't have a bald spot? This guy that's wearing the hoodie. And Sutton's like, well, all right. Well, I'm going to take my mask off. How are you? And Sanjit's like, good to see you. How are you? Sanjit reaches over and gives her a kiss on the cheek. How dare you, Sanjit? And Sutton's like, well, good to see you too. Look at you being all forward with your kiss on cheek. Sutton's like, sorry, I'm so late. And Sandra's like, oh, that's all right. And Sutton and I are talking now goes, my mother said to me, you really haven't ever dated because I got married young, but it's hard to date in 2022 when you're 50. Girl, I can make it real easy. Server's like, could I get you guys anything to drink? And Sandra's like, I'll try the Pilsner. And so I was like, well, I'll do a Kettle One on the rocks. And then can I get a grapefruit juice on the side? What was that Dorit was ordering? She goes, she was like, I'd like the carcass out. And it's like, it's so creepy to refer to like lemon rinds as carcasses. Take the carcass out. Let Kyle put that carcass in her trunk. The server's like, absolutely. Thank you so much. I'll get you started. And Son's like looking at the menu. She's like, well, so I don't know about you, but I'm a plain pizza eater. I'll say. They got good truffle pizza there. Like, I don't know. And so Sanjit immediately says, well, the spicy clams look kind of good. Do you eat seafood? And Sutton's like, well, I don't eat spicy anything. And Sanjit's like, really? And Sutton's like, well, I know. I like your Indian background. Remember, Sanjit's your Indian background. I'm like, because I like Indian food. I'll say, but not spicy Indian food. And, like, it's kind of like your people love spice. And Sanjit's like, yeah. And Son's like, is that bad? And Sanjit's like, no. But he did not look thrilled with it. Listen, I like spice, but I also respect people that don't like spice. I will say that. Sutton and Tanya goes, I met Sanjit on the Bumble. So after all the girls got in his face, I've been on one date with Sanjit. He's from Virginia. I say, been to law school in New Orleans. Also, he's been on Jeopardy. I do background checks on people I date. Listen, Sutton, let's talk about that. The background check. Listen, some things are going to weird you out. Yeah, I did a web series called Talking Marriage about my previous marriage that took place in a garage. I've been on some Lifetime movies that I'm not super proud of. I don't think there's like literally been no arrests, no Deweys. But Liz, also I do want to warn you, and maybe Josh could help you out with this. There is a Ryan Bailey that is a gay porn star. I have a Google alert on my name, hoping that the podcast will get positive praise and reviews. But usually it's either a soccer player named Brian Bailey, who I'm really impressed with, and I really do want people to confuse me with him. And then there's a gay porn actor named Ryan Bailey, who supposedly has one of the best asses in the biz. And while I'm proud of him, I sometimes am also kind of like, no offense to Ryan Bailey, because it's like, go, man, do your thing, dude. And obviously you're doing it well, because this guy pops up in Google alerts all the time. And I'm like, look at this guy. His ass is doing great, but it also, then I get, because I'm like, oh my God, they probably think I'm the ass. Like, oh, he does the Housewives podcast. Also, he has one of the best asses in the biz, So I just want Sutton, if you're listening, or Josh, if you're listening, to like kind of prep for Sutton, just know that's not me. And I'm not the soccer player either. I'm me. I'm Ryan. So she's like, 1 month earlier, at Sutton's mucky backyard lunch, that's when we saw Sanjit on the FaceTime. Sutton's like, I actually like this one. Stop. And Erica's like, yeah, look at each other's asses. Yeah. So Sanjit and Sutton, they're talking as older people, and Sanjit's like, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't. And Sutton's like, do you want mine? And Sanjit's like, let me try these on. And Sutton's like, they're 1.5s. Now, Juliana lets me know that readers, Juliana's an optician, and the power of her readers, which isn't very strong, she says, but the frames are darling. Asher's sunglasses last week were diamond-shaped parallelograms or rhombuses. I mentioned that last week. Sorry. So yeah, my mom always talks about readers, and my dad, and they always buy these like cheap readers at like Walmart and stuff. And I get like, they always have, and they're always losing their readers, but the readers are like so inexpensive that they're just like, we'll leave them everywhere. We'll leave them at every restaurant in town so we can come back and they'll be here, when we come back next time. But this is the dude, and I would hope that Sutton be like, dude, this guy doesn't need readers yet. That's fucking hot. Like, I think that could be a huge bonus for me, of like, this guy got no readers. Oh my God, he's pushing all the right buttons. Sanjit's like, okay, yeah, I think we're similar. Like, oh, okay, so that's what you have, Sanjit. Oh, you and Sutton have the same readers. Oh, that's what every good relationship is based on that. Sutton and I talking head goes, first date with him. Well, I love this date because we went to a dive bar. He had a beer. I had a glass of wine. I say, and we talked about movies and books. College football seems to be our thing. Okay. I'll fuck up a dive bar every time. I want to know which dive bar. Like, she's like, we went to the Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hilton little dive bar. He had a beer. Okay. Had a glass of wine. Great. Talked about movies and books. I'll blow your fucking mind. Have you read Give Them Lala by Lala Kent? Or I read Shep Rose's book. I read Craig Conover's book. I've read Erica Jane. I listened to Erica Jane's audiobook, but like, dude, we could talk books all day long. Now, the college football thing, listen, I'm one of those people who like, teach me how to love it. Teach me how to love it. Like, I'm willing to, and the server returns to take the food order, and Sandra's like, we're going to try the beets. And someone's like, oh, thank you. And it's like, beets. I've had the beets from that place, by the way. And Santa's like, are you ready for your poop to be read? Well, I sure am. I'll say. Santa talking head goes, so second date a month later, let's dive in a little deeper. Now I can really get to know him. And Santa's like, well, I love the music scene out here. I just saw the Go-Go's were playing at the Whiskey. Vacation all I ever wanted. The camera pans down to Sutton's feet under the table. And Sutton's like, well, my foot is itching because I have neuropathy. I'll say. Wow, Sutton is really revealing everything. I told him about my neuropathy. Told him about my monkeypox. Oh, shit. Sutton reaches down to scratch it. Listen, I found it hot personally, but usually I would not recommend that on a date. Sutton's like, it's going to bother me if I don't scratch it. Sutton's like, yeah. And Sutton's like, well, that's the thing that I have is bothering me right now. And Sandra's like, yeah. And it's turning really weird. Like, it just does not seem super into it. And so I was like, well, I love live music, Sandra. I love to watch bands. For me growing up, because I grew up in the 80s, like the punk scene. And I was like, oh my God, Sutton's like the punk scene. Sandra's like, oh, like the Clash and the Sex Pistols. And Sutton's like, with the Clash, so good. Those were the days, man. I was like, That's kind of cool, man. Like, for real, if that's true. So I was like, I have no fucking clue who the Clash is. Joshua, you know who the Clash is? Calls him in the other room. Sing one of their songs for me so I can sing it for Sanjit. Um, so Sutton and a talking head says, well, I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't think I'm looking for marriage. So now maybe I just want a boyfriend. Somebody who'll put up with me. I love how girls always feel like somebody's putting up with them. It's like, Sutton, sounds like I'm just giving you the insider's point of view so you can decide if you want a third date or not, Sanjit. And she laughs. And Sanjit just takes a draw of her beer. And Sutton's like, you're like, no, I don't want a third date. And Sandra just doesn't answer. He just smiles and chuckles. And Sutton smacks herself on her forehead. I mean, but it did not look good. I honestly got to think Sanjit is out of the picture. Sorry, Sanjit, you're lost. My game. Sorry. It is evening and we see Erica waiting at a bar table at the Grandmaster rooftop. And Garcelle enters. It's a Garcelle Erica scene, and Garcelle's like, hi. And Erica's like, I love it. How are you? And Garcelle's like, I'm good. And Erica's like, Happy New Year. And Garcelle's like, Happy New Year. And they hug. Erica's like, nice to see you. Garcelle's like, thank you. Nice to see you too. And Erica's like, what's going on? And Garcelle's like, what's going on? Well, New Year. It's a new year. How's dating life? And then Erica goes, sex life is better than dating life. And Garcelle goes, oh, that's fantastic. And Erica goes, I agree. You agree? You're the one that fucking brought it up in the first. What do you? I agree. Who? Like, I got fucked in the booty last night. It's going great. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I agree. I loved it. Love rubbing privates together. That's all. I'm getting sex. You know, sex when you take an object and then you rub it. So Eric goes, I'm not really dating. I mean, what am I going to hold hands with somebody in a restaurant? Yeah. Yes. That's what a nice date is, you know? If you eventually hold hands that sounds kind of nice. I'd rather put that hand on my butt. So this server comes over and she's like, welcome to Grandmaster Recorders. Here's the menus. Can I take your drink order? And Garcelle's like, I'll have a Casamigo neat. And Erica's like, can I just have a chamomile tea with some honey? And we're like, oh, good. Yeah. Remember, Erica's on the straight and narrow. And the server's like, unfortunately, we don't do the hot drinks up here. That's the only thing. And Erica's like, whoa, what cognac do you have up here? And Glory's like, let me check for you. And Erica's like, yeah, something good. I love it. It's like, no hot tea, huh? Can you give me a shot of tequila? So Garcelle takes this in and is like, I've never seen tea or cognac. And she weight balances her hands. Shirley Temple, perhaps? Water? You could order other things than cognac. Glory returns with the tequila and cognac, and Eric is like, here's to you. And Garcelle's like, cheers. Happy New Year to you. And Eric is like, Happy New Year to you too. Prosperity. And Garcelle goes, so how are you? I'm okay. And Garcelle goes, yeah, last couple of times I saw you, you were a little tipsy. Oh, I wasn't tipsy. I was blacked out. This is what I told you guys last week, how Erica always agrees and then goes further. You know, like somebody, oh, you were a little tipsy. Some people are like, well, I wasn't a little. She'll be like, oh, I wasn't tipsy. I was fucking shit can. I fucking almost died. And Garcelle's like, okay, I was starting off slow. And Erica's like, I appreciate you trying to like be gentle, but it was blacked out. And Garcelle goes, and why? Well, medicine and thinking I can drink on it just like this. And Garcelle's like, girlfriend. And Eric goes, but I wanted to have a good time. And Garcelle's like, everybody wants to have fun. You know, you after last year, I get it. Well, I deserve a little bit of fun, yeah, but it gets away from me. And Garcelle's like, but you don't want to get to a point where we're all worried about you when it looks like a little bit messy and sloppy. And Eric is like, well, you know who came to my house and basically let me have it and called me on the carpet was Miss Lisa Renna. And Garcelle's like, did she? Hell yeah, she did. Oh, yeah, she did. Sorry. And Garcelle's like, good. Obviously, I'm struggling. Lost the home, lost the husband, lost all the stuff. I do want to point out to people, she left Tom. we are losing the plot a little bit from last season. Remember, she left Tom because he cheated on her, and he begged her to come back. Okay. Erica's like, nobody ever tells you how to rebuild. Garcelle says, yeah, rebuild. That's a lot of pressure, Garcelle. But something in my gut tells me I'll be all right. And Garcelle's like, oh, you're going to be all right. And Erica's like, but there are moments when I'm like, oh, shit. But, yeah. But, I guess just like everybody else, everybody else that doesn't steal and spend money, that's, okay. Garcelle mutters, just like everybody else. Garcelle in a talking head goes, I guess the first step is recognizing you have a problem. And I think she's doing that. So I believe her. And I'm glad to see that she's owning it. And hopefully she will. Erica's like, because so much of life has been ripped away. And it's like, I have a fresh set of eyes. And Garcelle's like, yeah, okay. Now that your eyes are open, what are you seeing about our friend group? Are you seeing anything that you hadn't seen? Erica's like, I'm glad you have Shireen because I thought Sutton is a liability for you. You fucking watch it right now, Erica Jane. You just messed with the wrong podcaster, dude, by talking to Garcelle goes, really? And yeah. Garcelle's like, why does everybody come down on her? And Eric's like, because she's unpredictable in some ways. Oh, yeah. Not like old, I get shitty at parties and talk about boning. I'm predictable. Garcelle in a talking head goes, it's very strange. Erica says that Sutton can be a liability to me, but when in Mexico, they were buddies. We get a flashback to 2 months earlier, and Erica to Sutton going, we don't need to make them uncomfortable. It's between us. And Sutton's like, well, we got each other in a way people don't understand. We get each other. Erica's like, that's right. Garcelle in a talking head goes, the bottom line is Erica is a liability walking around every day. Boom. Is there a more scandalous woman in America Day than Erica Jane? Whoa. Is there a more scandalous woman in America Day than Erica Day? That is deep. Garcelle goes, I really just wish everybody would just kind of like lay off Sutton for a minute, like do something else. Erica goes, but I will say this. Sutton is the master of her own disaster. I know she's your friend. Master of her own disaster. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Are you fucking kidding me? Master of her own disaster? Yeah, it's like you're the one taking the pills and putting the drink up to your mouth, Erica. Do you mean master of your own disaster like that? Garcelle's like, she's definitely my friend, but I also feel like you don't have to cover for her all the time. Garcelle's like, I don't. Erica's like, I think you almost felt in some ways responsible to protect her. She's a big girl. She knows what she's doing. Just like good old Erica Jane. The look on Garcelle's face, the statement is not sitting well with her. It should be. Like, Erica, shut the fuck up. 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 Like, what are you fuck? Like, how ballsy is it to go, yeah, I'm being clean shit face. Let me tell you about your friend and why she's wrong. Like, not the time, Erica. Like, maybe you need to chill on commenting about anybody for maybe a good year or two. Let things die down a little, take your licks, and then you can make fun of Sutton if you'd like to. Like, you're all of a sudden threatened, well, she's unpredictable. She might pull a knife on me. Next time on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Rinna goes, yeah, it's kind of fun for me to like torture you. And Sutton's like, okay. And Rinna's like, I know people think I'm such a fucking bitch, don't they? And Sutton's like, you are. And Rinna gives her a fucking bitch look, like, how dare you? Garcelle says, I saw Erica and she said I'm not allowed to drink when I'm on these meds. And she fell and hit her head. And Reed's like, wait, what? Garcelle's like, yes. And then Erica saying, I've told you I sent the wrong text to the wrong person, thanking them for some good dick. And he was like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to give you some. Oh my God. I sent the text to the wrong person, thanking them for some good dick. And he was like, ma'am, I'm your Postmates driver. I'm having a hard time finding your poorhouse. Thank you for the good dick. That was good dick. Thank you so much for fucking me 6 ways from Sunday. Erica Jane. Rinna in a scene goes, I'm having a little wine tasting tomorrow. A little Rinna Rosé. Dree goes, Rinna Rosé. And Rinna's like, it's actually finally happening. This is what I'm like. Didn't she say it's actually finally happening about the Rinna beauty shit too? You know me. You can't spell Rinna without Roger. They will fucking slap their name on anything. Erica is at this wine tasting. We see a little scene. And she's like, what is this, honey? And the wine tasting server's like, this is the Brut.
Brute? Oh, God, that's good. What's in this shit?
So it looks like she's going to die of embarrassment. And then we have the scene that we're all talking about, the little clip for next week that I'm already enraged about. I'm ready, dude. Son's like, well, you talk out of both sides of your mouth to Rinna. And Rinna's like, so do you. And Son's like, well, no, and then Rinna's like, and you know what? Fuck you. I will fucking hunt you down. And she's doing these like little fucking flipper hands like Penguin and Batman Returns. And Drew's like, oh my God. And it's like just so fucking desperate. Rinna, listen, chill, relax, man. Do less. You're okay. You know, like it's almost like she's like, oh, where are we in the season? Getting a little nervous, don't have anything. Denise, could you come so I could accuse you of lesbianism? Because I don't have nothing. So it's just so over the top, so stupid, but at the same time, so entertaining. I'll give her that. It's entertaining, but it's like, oh man, you're like fully, I will fucking hunt you down. It's so crazy. You guys, this was a crazy one as usual. Thank you so much for listening. I was gonna do there was a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show where Sutton and Garcelle talked. And I was going to do that, break that down, but I have done 2.5 hours. I'm not going to do that. Maybe I'll do that on the Patreon this weekend or throw it in as a segment next week because it was a really funny interview that I would love for you guys to hear with me. And have a great weekend, you guys. We did it. Go eat something, drink something. Tell your family you love them. Tell your friends you love them. Kiss somebody with their permission only. Dance, listen to good music. Do all the things. Even if it just means self-care and laying in your bed and watching TV or listening to this podcast. I really appreciate you being on this journey with me, helping me learn how to be a better person. I don't know how I'm going to do that through recapping these shows, but we'll figure it out together. I will see you bright and early on Monday with a pop culture roundup, you guys. We did it another week. Love ya. Bye.